Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Core, where we talk about video games, and you just have to sit there grooving on it. I'm Scott Johnson. I got Bo Schwartz and John Jagger here. Hello, fellas.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. See, now you can say stuff over the top of each other, and we hear all three of us now. This is great.
Oh, there's no, like, cross-ducking.
Nope. None. So it's like all that, what do they call that? I just forgot the word again.
This might be a bad...
It might be a great thing, because remember, John's got a secret penis he drops every episode, and we're going to find out when it is.
Yeah, you can hear about the secret penis now. Before, Discord would cut it off because other people were talking, but now you'll be able to hear when I sneak in the secret penis.
We have full duplexing, or in this case, triplexing, I guess, because there's three of us. But
I didn't know we had secret penises.
I know, I didn't either.
Yeah, if you hear it, put the timestamp in the YouTube comments. Let other people find the secret penis.
Yeah. That's a great use of YouTube comments. Please tell people about the secret penis.
Yeah, whatever you do, stop what you're doing and get the secret penis going. I got a couple of really important things here, though. First of all, we are the only podcast named Car and Driver's Best in Class Utility SUV for 2025. Super honored. Big thanks to Car and Driver. We're a video game podcast, but somehow we got on the list, and we just couldn't be more humbled by your giving us that award. So thank you for that. Secondly, huge congrats to Eskandor. Who? What'd you say? Who?
We got an award?
No, it's fake. It's just a little joke up there saying. I love when I have to explain these jokes to Bo. It's my favorite thing in the world.
It's like, what? Car and Driver. Best utility podcast.
Or 30 seconds into the show, and I already...
It's about goddamn time they recognize.
That's right. Damn it. We're so good.
We're only 30 seconds in the show, and my attention drifted off already. I'm sorry.
It's not good. Well, let's get you... But let's put the HD in your ADHD.
It's not because it's not interesting. I have a problem.
Yeah,
I've been diagnosed as not having it, but everyone in my family has it, so, deal with that information. What you
Maybe the person who diagnosed you had it, and they lost track of the results.
Oh, shit.
He probably doesn't have it.
Think of that.
I want my $1,000 back.
Yeah.
Can't. You already spent it. It's already gone.
It's gone now. But here's the cool thing. Eskandor in our chat room, in our community, had a baby this week, a little baby boy.
Nice.
Yep. His name is Dominic. His daughter liked the name because she could call him Nicky, he tells me, which is super cute. And I just say congrats to him and anyone out there celebrating the birth of any new kids. We think that's great, moms and dads.
Also, congratulations on letting your other little ones get involved in the name, because we didn't entertain that option. We did ask, and as the original suggestions were Moose and Mr. Baby, we decided we would come up with our own names.
Mr. Baby's awesome.
What is Mr. Baby based on? Is that just...
It was just a suggestion that got thrown out when we were like, we don't know what we're going to name him yet. What about Mr. Baby?
I see why you gave up. You're like, okay.
Kind of love that. Mr. Baby.
Yeah.
Why not just short it to MB? That could be the name.
Yeah, MB. Like Motherboard, Mr. Baby. Megabyte. Murderous bastard.
Yeah. Megabyte's a great name.
Yeah, I like it. Well, that's great. And
or you know what? You could call them Terabyte, and then for short, it's Terra.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
But I have a sister named
fantasy name slipping in there.
My black sheep sister's name is Tara, and she's very difficult. But I'll try to forget that for this moment.
Well, a rose by any other name,
That's a good point. All right. Anyway. Oh, and also. Big giveaway today. You've heard us talk the last couple of weeks about the video game Doom: The Dark Ages, and I have some great news about that because Doghouse Systems is giving away a copy of Doom: The Dark Ages to one of our listeners. You got to enter in this form, and you're not going to get it until next episode. That's when we'll announce it. But some people have already found it and are already entering it. Don't worry, there's plenty of time. You have all week to get in there. It will be 100% random, and you will get a free code copy of The Dark Ages for PC, Doom: The Dark Ages, at this address. So remember, this is a PC code. If you were like, oh, all I got is this Xbox, we don't have the option here. So it's just for PC stuff. Frogpants.com/core contest is where you're going to want to go. I actually have it up. You guys can see what it looks like. There it is. You'll see a big giant Doom image. And simple as that. You just fill out this quick little easy form. You're in.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Pretty good, right? Very nice.
It's nice and clean. Looks sick.
Yeah. Generous of them. It was really, really cool.
Very generous of them to give us a copy to give away.
So huge thanks to Doghouse and that option there. Go to doghouse.com, doghousesystems.com if you're interested in checking out their PC rigs as well. All right. I think we can get to the main event here. Let's do it. All right. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, CD Projekt Red confirms that Cyberpunk 2 is in pre-production, that the name is probably Cyberpunk 2. My guess is it'll have a colon something when it's done.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I think they're going to throw a colon in there.
Something with a colon. Who knows?
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2 sounds... I mean, it's not officially what it's going to be called.
You sure about that?
2078.
You sure about that, though?
Well, it's Cyberpunk 2077 is the name of the game, so you'd be doing Cyberpunk 2077 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. What if it was...
No, thank you.
So the new year, then, or whatever year they want.
So you're not a fan of dropping the 2077 in favor of just the 2?
Yeah, what do you think?
No, because...
But here's what you do. You do a cool graphical treatment where, for your teaser trailer, it says Cyberpunk 2077, and then the 077 just shortens, and then you just have the 2 sitting there. And everybody goes, and they lose their mind.
I think you do 2078, but whatever.
You think it should be the next year? See, I think they jumped 10 years. Or
I think if they do 2078, people are going to think there's too many earlier versions of the game they have to play first.
What if it's 2087? Just do that. 10 years. Big stuff's gone on. Jackie's estate, or Jackie's unknown grandkid.
His estate.
There's Jackie Jr., and there's...
I mean, there could be some years ahead, but I think, you'd want... this is under the assumption you'll still play V. I don't think too much time should pass by.
Oh, you still... Well, V... Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're still going to play V, but who knows?
Well, I don't mind if they make something new. It depends on how you ended that game, right?
There's a lot of ways that could have ended for V.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to find a way to tie it all together. I've seen it in my mind, in my third eye.
Oh, yeah. Right after you're done writing K2SO Unleashed, here's how V survives 100 different endings. Is not
when I went down the rabbit hole, I thought about, as part of the new player experience.
Yeah.
You know how you have different backgrounds? Well, there could just be different backgrounds that bleed into the same overall funnel, back to the critical path of the main game. It wouldn't be beyond the scope of a company like CD Projekt Red to do something that ambitious. But, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just now you're Bart.
Yeah, you could be Bart.
Bart.
There's a new character, Bart. It could be a guy or girl. It doesn't matter.
Sure. Do you think it's still nice? Do you think you can be Bart? Absolutely, you can be Bart. But do you think it'll end up being Night City again or somewhere else?
I think they've already said.
Mike Pondsmith leaked this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be in Night City again, but he said they're going to go to a place, but I can't say what it is. And he says, but then later on he was just like Chicago, but if it was shitty. So that either means it's Chicago, and in the cyberpunk lore, Chicago was hit with a super virus, pandemic, like COVID pandemic style.
Sure.
And in the game, there's ads to go revisit Chicago now because they're rebuilding, or it's another place that is urban and dilapidated, like a rundown Chicago.
Oh.
So it's not
I had also
100%
heard
confirmed.
Chicago would be visited, but it didn't. They didn't say it as this is the new city, but they said it would be one of the places it takes place.
Yeah. The source is Pondsmith being cagey. I watched the interview where he leaked it. Or he said the information, and you can't say that he positively just said it was Chicago. He said his words were literally Chicago, but run down, which could be taken to mean Chicago, or just not him being, squirrely. It's not like he did it intentionally, right? So he pulled a Johnson, basically.
That happens. Yeah. People pull Johnsons all the time.
That's true.
Always yanking them.
Yeah. So, but there are ads in the current game to go visit the rebuilt Chicago. So probably Chicago. Probably.
I'm fine with that. I think that's okay. I like to mix it up a little. I think Night City's awesome, but also when you make your game bigger, usually the goal is to your map gets bigger, and so maybe it's a multi-city thing. Maybe Night City's just as involved. Maybe it's just one of 2-3 biomes or something. I don't
think they get rid of Night City because it's the whole Night City's like this. It's not part of the USA, right? It's this independent city state where the game is primarily played in. So
right.
I don't know. There's a lot of political blah 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 going on, but who knows? They can make anything they want, really. So maybe
I'm down for whatever. Although we're going to play it a lot closer to the year 2027 or 77 than I like. You're not going to get anything until 2031 likely for a release. Maybe an announcement the year before. Yeah. So we're
well,
ways
they got
off.
this other game called Witcher. They got to make another one for.
Kind of wish they just. I want The Witcher 4. Okay, I do want The Witcher 4. I do, but I would really like it if they just split that company or just cloned it and said, "All right, Witcher 4, keep going. Cyberpunk 2 : the cyberpunking, do that now, and then let's have them come out at the same time because I want to play both those games." But if I'm honest, I'm more interested in a Cyberpunk 2 than I am
Same.
Witcher. So, and I love The Witcher. This is not a poo-poo on The Witcher. Not even close. I'm just saying.
No, I 100% get it. I feel the same way. It's funny enough, it's kind of like what I feel with Bethesda, where it's like, I watched the Fallout show and I was like, man, why are we making Elder Scrolls right now? Well, we need a new Fallout game that's awesome.
Yep.
So it's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm really hungry for more Cyberpunk 2077 because that's what I enjoyed last. I am sure once I am playing Witcher 4, if it is anywhere near as good as Witcher 3 was, I will have forgotten that criticism altogether and just been like, "Oh my god, it's so good."
Yeah, we'll even be like, "Hey, this is going to hold silver until Cyberpunk."
There's a little rumor mill boiling up about Cyberpunk 2077.
Oiling up. Tell me more.
Boiling up?
Oh, all right, boiling. I like that too.
I put a B on it, but whatever.
Sure.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
There's some rumors going around because Steam's been showing some updates. They've been fiddling with the client, making updates, even though the game is done. There's no more updates, they said.
To the first one you're saying, to the first game. Right.
First one, they did. But we know there's another anime coming for Cyberpunk.
Okay.
And they've been fiddling with it. And I think there's been some hirings of voice actors and stuff. The actors have been posting on their Instagrams, going to wherever, people are sleuthing. So there's no smoking gun, but there's either baseline, probably going to be some free update because they did that with Edge Runners where they put David's jacket and put some scenes in. So on the low end, there's probably going to be some tie-in updates to the game. On the high end, maybe they went, I think people would pay for another DLC, and maybe they did what you said. They cordoned off some people to give us some Cyberpunk content for another paid DLC, which would be, from a business standpoint, it's like we're making an anime. Okay, that's going to increase hype. What are we selling along with it? Nothing.
Yeah.
So if I'm the business guy, I'm going whoa.
Yeah.
Let's make something and let's put a price tag on it. But while this thing, is going to go,
I hope you're right. I would love that. I'm ready to pay for more. I'd do that. Let's go.
I mean, I know these things are hard to make and realism, all that stuff, but it just seems like not that they really missed an opportunity because I think their sales of the base game and probably Phantom Liberty was out around that time. Sales surged with Edge Runners. I feel like they could maybe get that again. And if there's a hot new DLC to buy, I'll buy it anyway.
Really struck perfect with Edge Runners because that game was just getting to its best playable state. They had worked out all the kinks and they were now tooling it into the best form it was going to hit right at the time that Edge Runners hit. And then Edge Runners was so phenomenal. And I think it brought in a bunch of new people and I think it brought in a bunch of returning people and everybody went, oh, this is the game that we wanted.
Yeah.
And here it is, because that's what happened to me.
Yep.
I did not like Cyberpunk when it first came out. Now one of my favorite video games ever.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is thanks to Edge Runners for getting me excited enough about the universe to give the game another chance after the fact.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And also, here's that game, I think internally, because they had all these other plans, the multiplayer add-on, they were going to try to go after GTA Online and all that. They had all these plans. Scrapped a ton of it because the launch was rough. They had to throw a lot of resources on fixing it. They were definitely committed. It was clear they were committed to getting it to where it needed to be. And it put it in a top 5 slot for me as well. That's how strongly I feel about that game now. But I think they may have underestimated just how much goodwill they were churning by hitting all those marks in the end and by making good on the promises. Because I think gamers, as cynical as we do get pretty forgiving when shit is awesome, right? If it's great and you nailed it, then we go full,
the sky's the limit in terms of like, we'll throw my money at you and we'll praise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No man's sky is the limit almost. It's a perfect
Especially
example.
because companies like EA set the bar so low
Yeah.
that when they actually continue to work on the game we bought after and make it awesome, like Larian and CD Projekt Red, it's like it goes a long way for goodwill.
I agree. I think they underestimated
the one
how
fly
much
in the
that
ointment.
did. Yeah. What's
The
that?
one fly in the ointment is I was already predisposed to like being pretty certain Edge Runners was going to be awesome because I know the studio that did it, and this time around, I'm not sure I feel the same way. I hope it hits because they also could like, man, that was awesome. Let's do another one, and it's like, I don't know,
Different studio this time?
it is a different studio.
Yeah, it's not Trigger.
It's, Netflix Animation Studio.
Oh.
Right. So it's like,
It might be all right.
well, I mean, Netflix
Maybe.
not exactly as the best. Netflix, here's a new show. Never mind, we're canceling it.
Well, sort of. I mean, they've got that.
I know Sex, Death, and Robots is super good, but it's not them. But like, I know they have stuff in their catalog.
It's Love, Death, and Robots, by the way. But go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah.
Same thing.
But they've got good stuff in their catalog, and they may have hired talented people who love the franchise and are going to have something good.
Yeah.
What they did was really bold. They did a cartoon where everyone dies. It was very bold of them to do that. No doubt they can do something excellent the second time, but I'm a little, I don't know.
Well, let's see what they. Okay, so I'm just going to look up Netflix Animation Studios, see what they've done. It gives us a good idea of what to expect, maybe. So they started with their first was 2019's Claus, very good movie. It's the Santa Claus movie. The Willoughbys. I don't know what that is. Never saw it. Over the Moon was good. Let's see. I'm trying to find one we care about. Any other anime? Let's see. The Sea Beast, Wendell and Wild, My Father's Dragon. That Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro movie was awesome.
You know what? That was considered good, and that is a case of like there was a creative on the team with a vision, and they let him do it. I think it's going to depend on who the minds are behind it. Are they going to push it far enough? I think that was one thing about Edge Runners is it was like that didn't hold back. That showed you a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that showed you more than the game would show you. It was not afraid.
I think it wasn't like it wasn't just like, oh, was it good on a cartoon level or good on a streaming service level? It actually just stands like for the anime junkies as a really good anime.
Yeah.
Like it hit with people who didn't play Cyberpunk who are just like, oh, anime. Like it hit with people outside of the sphere. And I don't know. I don't know what this one's. I just predict actually this one's cultural impact probably will be smaller, because it was like the anime factor. Like I've watched.
And also, it cared
videos,
so much about the game that you were like, you could see locations in the game, you could go there in the game, and then like even the stuff they're putting, like the gear they're putting on themselves and all that was stuff you could get in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like all of a sudden, it's like, oh. Is that what that does? Well, maybe I should go get that cyberware. And you're like, well, hell, this is awesome. Yeah. I've learned. I watched an anime and I learned because instead of reading a little menu about, what this does, I watched a cool anime where it was used to great effect. Now I can go do it too.
Yeah.
Like they complemented each other really well. And then like Bo said, but also you didn't have to care about the game either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked both ways.
They also did the recent Tomb Raider thing, and particularly the one I liked was Blue Eyed Samurai. That show was awesome. So
yeah, I heard good things about that.
I have decent hopes in them getting it right. I don't know.
I think there's two vectors. Like one, it might be good, but it may not have the cultural impact that the first one had, like in terms of how the reach.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not.
And so, but still, I think Cyberpunk stands to make sales, regardless, unless it's like turbo trash.
I think they'll do okay. Yeah.
By the way, did you see the trailer for K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So Spider-Man. Speaking of like animation studios, you like the Into the Multiverse guys,
like Spider-Verse. Yeah, love that.
Spider-Verse. The animation studio that.
Yeah, Sony's some sub studio they own or something. Right?
Yeah. It seemed like it was them. Maybe it's a stretch that they're claiming it's them, but that's in the trailer, and it's basically a K-pop girl group that kills demon hunters.
Oh my!
Or who kills demons, and it looks awesome. And it's in the same animation style as Spider-Verse looks amazing.
So it is literally called K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
Yes.
Oh, here it is. It looks a little more.
Netflix is doing that too, actually.
Looks kind of Pixar-y. Like it doesn't look like sketchy.
Well, watch the animation and
Is that Kung Lao in that picture?
that's one of the demons.
I love it. Throws the hat, cuts off a head. Why not? Hold on. Let's see. Is there a trailer here somewhere?
It's not like if you're a K-pop fan, watch this. If not, go away. It's like made for people to enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Oh, except for that face that girl just made. I hate that. You know how I feel about those.
So the studio behind Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it looks like it is connected. So
this is their next project. Like, so everyone who loves those Spider-Man animations should watch this.
Their next project should be finishing the damn Spider-Man trilogy, but it's fine. It's cool. I'll get this in the middle. It's okay.
Honestly, if I was them, I would have dropped.
Didn't they finally
for
confirm that?
Trying to
I think
find
it's like July,
dates.
July.
Yeah, I don't see
June
it.
20th.
Really? Yeah, it's right around the corner.
That's not far.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's fun to have something to look forward to. This looks fun.
Well, thinking of things you're not looking forward to, Marathon got delayed after all. Sony canceled all its marketing plans.
Well,
for
we
the
don't
game.
know that it's delayed.
Oh, well, we think it's going to be delayed. That's what we think.
Wait.
Yeah, the keyword in there was might be delayed.
Yeah.
A lot. So we were kind of speculating on this last week when we were talking a lot about Marathon, was that we might see a delay, but we didn't think so because the game had already been delayed and they had a bunch of marketing. But apparently they have canceled all their marketing.
Yeah, it says Bungie's Marathon is likely to be delayed as a new report claims Sony has now canceled all paid marketing plans. That means TV, Twitch, internet, TikTok, all that. They pulled it, which is that's one of two things. That's we're canceling this or it's being delayed, and I think it's more likely that it's being delayed. So,
Actually, since I put this news story in there is another update.
Oh, what do we got?
So this is coming from the Game Post. It says Moriarty, I guess Sherlock Holmes' nemesis, has clarified his comment about Marathon's marketing. In a new post on X, he explained that he was only referring to the current lack of paid marketing plans in one specific overseas market, not a global cancellation by Sony. So there are signs. The game, no doubt, is in trouble, but apparently it's not a case of all has been canceled yet. But for most people that are guessing, what is going on with Marathon, watching what they do with the marketing is a good way to try and determine what's going to happen with that game, because you don't do a big marketing push for a game that's not going to be coming out. So if marketing gets canceled, safe to say that the game is either going to be delayed or canceled. And if the marketing goes forward, it's definitely still coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to spend less on marketing, so they're targeting people whose algorithms show that they favor highlighters.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
like it's just it's like they're
who
just going to
uses
spend
the
less on
highlight
marketing.
function in Microsoft Word? Get that Marathon.
If the algorithm is like this guy clearly, because there's people who love highlighters. I've met some of them.
Oh hell yeah!
So we're going to make sure to just show ads to those people and not waste their time with non-highlighter people.
I had a boss years ago that walked around with he had a pocket, like a shirt pocket, and he carried like 4 colored highlighters in his pocket all the time.
Yeah, some people are crazy about highlighters.
Yeah, just ready to just come up to you.
We have a game for them now,
Yeah, now we have an extraction shooter that you're going to love. I heard the term extraction shooter about 6 times over the week for other reasons, not even just with this, just the term or the genre extraction shooter.
Going to a bar to drink is like an extraction shooter.
A little bit. They're extracting
drink from the shooter and go away.
plus they're extracting your money, exorbitant drink prices these days.
Yeah, shoot. That's the other team, PvP baby.
But I keep hearing it, and every time I just think of John. Can't separate him now because I know how much you hate the genre, and I just can't separate you guys. You are the extraction shooter.
Well, I don't hate it. It's just an interest. It's an interest turnoff for me. It's like, someone can put on the list of their interests as like a smoker, and like for some people that might be good, for some people that might be an instant turnoff. I hear extraction shooter and I go, oh, not interested.
Okay, so you don't hate like in that scenario, you don't hate smokers. You just would really prefer not to date a smoker.
Right.
That's different than hate.
I don't want to date an extraction shooter.
No. No. Why would you?
That's how I feel about it. So, but I mean, I do think we are at this point where, we're hitting that AAA, this is how long it takes for people to make a game. So we're hearing about it a lot because now's when everybody who was like, oh, we got to strike. Tarkov is really popular. Let's all make a video game. Now we're apparently hitting where all those are coming out. So it's all we're hearing about. It's just like,
That's true.
Overwatch and hero shooters. It's like we went through a big gamut of hero shooters, and it's like, hero shooter. Because that's how long it took for people to go, let's do what Overwatch did, and then make one. Now we're in the same spot with extraction shooters, and it to me, it just all reeks of trend chasing, and it very rarely works out. You have to do something extremely exceptional to do it. I mean, this show is built on Heroes of the Storm, which is one of these games. It chased a trend. I think it was better than any of the others I played. I certainly loved it. But guess what? It didn't work out either, because that's the way it goes so often with these types of games. And it's the sad reality of people that are trying to get games sold on promises of what's popular and what the market's doing rather than passion. And so we're going to hear extraction shooter for a while, and then who knows what we're going to hear after that.
Well, what you might hear is Star Wars Battlefront 2 is regaining so much popularity, or hidden penis.
I already did it. So
you already did it. Oh,
I already did it.
Yeah,
yep, it was in there. Did you hear it, Scott?
I heard it. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
we've already established now. Now people know don't listen further in the show unless there's two.
Yeah, we're not.
I didn't even do it on purpose.
I never promised that there's only one penis in a show.
No. Sometimes there's multiple penises in a show.
Yeah. My penis doesn't count.
No, you can't count that thing. Forget it.
No.
that was too overt a penis.
Yeah. Not secret enough.
Clearly, I don't have. Yeah, you guys jumped on it right away. Jumped on my penis.
Well, if you want to play Battlefront 2 with your little micro penis, if you want to have your penis out while you play it, you can do it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 breaks records 8 years after release. For whatever reason, Battlefront 2 is on fire right now. And the big news around it is that some of the former devs would like a chance to make a new one. They're like, yeah, we know it's good. So, hey, what if maybe Disney/EA or whoever's holding the rights to this bullshit can let us go off and make a proper follow-up add-on deal game unit?
Yeah, it's seeing a real resurgence, which I'm celebrating because I got back into Battlefront 2 a few years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, this game is really good. Like, I really enjoyed my time with it. And unfortunately, the game is kind of forgotten right now. It's kind of living on based on community support. Sadly, hacking seems to be, I've seen videos and stuff of hacking being a bit rampant in the game at the moment. But people are still loving it, and they've talked to some of the past devs, and they're like, yeah, we talked to each other. We would love to make another Battlefront.
Is this the one we played a bunch?
Yeah.
John?
Oh, yeah. It's totally what we played.
Did we play
John,
it?
Yeah, all three of us did.
Yeah.
Okay, you and I had a run, but like I know John and I played a ton, right? Scott, you played 2 with us, but I know John and I went hard.
Yeah.
I played a bunch when it came out.
This is the one where you can become like Kylo Ren or...
Yeah. They have these hero mode things. It's currently
really good.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems like it's doing really well. It broke its own concurrent connection record for concurrent players. I mean, that's cool, man. I think I own this. Don't I own this?
And I didn't research too far into what they are, but apparently there are things called Kyber servers or something to that effect. I know, but apparently these servers have new content. It's got fan-supported content, so there's new heroes and stuff like that you can do. So
kind of want to play.
Get into it.
I want to play as Cassian Andor.
I might just install it again. Yeah,
hey, we have a whole mine of new heroes and stuff we can put in the game.
Play as Luthen Riel.
Luthen Riel? Who the hell is that?
You defeat people by giving them a real hard monologue. You're like, oh, jeez.
You don't know who Luthen Riel is?
No, why is that not ringing a bell to me? Why is that familiar?
Skarsgård in Andor.
Oh, okay. I'm behind.
Luthen Riel.
I forgot. I haven't seen the first season in a while. I forgot what his name was. I love him, though. So
hey, you know what? It's fine. I've seen Andor season 1 twice. I was in the middle of watching Andor season 2, and I went, I thought the character's name was Bex. And my wife goes, no, it's Bix. I was like, did they change it? And she goes, no, it's been Bix from the beginning. And I was like, I am in a Berenstain Bears universe because I could have sworn her name was Bex through
Keep
watching
your hands
that season
off my
twice.
big back bar.
So I'm with you, Scott. Sometimes names are tough. It happens.
That's wild. So Star Wars, I gotta see if I have it.
Is Bix short for anything? Like Rubik's Cube?
You'd have to ask the. I don't own this. Why did I play? Oh, it was on Game Pass or EA Play or whatever the hell.
Probably
it's called.
on EA. Yeah, I think that's where I
might
own
be
it
right.
too.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy it on Steam now.
All right, save your money. Oh my god, dude.
$39. If we played together,
I
I'd
have
get
it
it.
in both places.
Do you? John
Yeah,
likes it in both
apparently
places.
I do.
Yep.
Yep, both places.
Yeah, there's no innuendo there. Excellent. Well, that's the thing that's going on. Mortal Kombat 1 is getting no more updates beyond bug fixes. They've moved on to whatever's next. And the theory is what's next is probably another Superman deal or another.
Oh,
No.
We don't know, do we? They haven't said. But
Injustice 3 or something like that.
yeah, probably
I
an
kind of
Injustice
hope
game.
they do something different. You
Like
know?
a whole
Yeah, like
new
Mortal
thing.
Kombat 2.
I mean, no, but I know what you mean. Like, what? Tell me what you want. Another fighting game, new IP? Do you want a different kind of game?
Star Wars fighting
I
game.
don't know. Yeah, Masters of Terras Kasi 2.
That terrible
Finally,
game. That was awful.
It's time. Yeah, but can you imagine fatalities with a lightsaber?
Oh, dude. That'd be great. And you could cauterize them all so they could be a little more general audience, right?
Yeah, a little less bloody, but
Yeah.
like you cut off the head, arms, and legs real quick, and then you force push the torso away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in on your. I like your elevator pitch, but I doubt that's what they'll do. Maybe they'll make
No,
like a
probably
follow up to the classic side-scrolling freaking Sub-Zero spinoff. What was that called?
Okay, so mythologies.
Yeah, was it Mythologies? And they only got
Yeah.
as far as one, and then they were like, "We're
Yeah.
not doing any more of these."
Well, and then they did another one of those, but it wasn't called Mythologies. They did Special Forces.
Oh, I
Jax.
forgot.
Yeah.
Jackson, what's her name?
But you know what they also did is they did Shaolin Monks, which was an awesome freaking game.
I don't remember.
That's one where you played Liu Kang or Kung Lao, and it was like a third-person action game. But you could do like fatalities on like mini bosses and stuff like that. It was
Really?
awesome. Yeah, just look. If you haven't played Shaolin Monks, go look up Shaolin Monks. It was awesome. It was basically Mortal Kombat 2 the game. And you just went through and you did a bunch of Mortal Kombat 2 stuff in a world. It was great.
I kind of need to look it up. Are there any Homelander smelling milk in them?
That's how I felt playing. Yeah, that's how I felt playing Shaolin Monks right there.
That's so gross.
We should replace the milk with a picture of B2MO
Yeah, B2MO.
or whatever. What was it? What is it? B2 emo?
Yeah, it's B2 emo.
B2 emo and John's face on top. Just
Yeah.
like-
Oh, it's so good.
I love it. Yeah. What do you want?
I don't
though?
know.
Like,
I would do more Shaolin Monks. I'll tell you another thing. This is really niche, so I don't think they would do it. But NetherRealm did, I think it was a mobile game, and it was tied to WWE, but it was all like they turned all the wrestling characters into like fighting game characters.
Okay.
And it was a fighting game with WWE wrestlers. And I always thought that was a brilliant idea that was held back by the fact that it was just some some mobile game.
Yeah.
So
maybe
I would
that'll.
love to see a fleshed out real version of that. Truthfully, I love NetherRealm. I love the things they do. We have friends there. I was a little let down by Mortal Kombat 1. I thought the guest characters were cool, but I didn't like the game. It was I felt like they had a lot of possibilities to go with it, and I kind of felt like they took the least interesting road.
Well, I think the fact that they're
start.
pulling out support for new content now is a sign of that. And I think that's generally the reception that game got.
Yeah.
I don't know. The problem with Mortal Kombat 1 isn't so much that it's a bad game, because it isn't. It's that I think people were just, I don't know, we're a little done with it, maybe a little.
Yeah, it kind of fell into that multiverse, fatigue, and what we got wasn't more interesting than what we had. and you kind of have to be more interesting. If you're going to establish a new continuity, it has to be a world that people are more excited to play in, and it was one that I was less excited to play in.
Well, watching this video, you now have me semi-interested in Shaolin Monks. It looks kind of fun.
Look at, doesn't this look like the most fun thing? It was a little 2-player co-op thing.
Find a friend. Yep. Get in there. Side scroll. A little bit of
find
fighting.
Somebody you can stick with Liu Kang so you can be Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's better. And
got a razor hat. He's cool.
Yes, he's way cooler than Liu Kang.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times the narrative is like Liu Kang's the best. Kung Lao's way cooler.
I tend to agree. I'm with you.
What about they do Star Trek next?
I mean, Star Trek fighter, like side-scrolling fighter.
Yeah, it's just Worf kicking the shit out of everything.
Picard versus Worf, fight. And then what would you do for fatalities? Picard would say, I don't like...
it wouldn't be fatalities. It would be like diplomatic resolution. Like it would just...
A line must be drawn here.
Yeah, exactly.
You could fight that guy, the Cardassian, and do it's a return to the
only
those are four lights.
Fatalities would be like the intense ones, like Worf, or like maybe Khan. Khan would definitely.
Well, Worf would play with he'd have to play with a bat'leth, right? Like,
Picard would just smash his little case of ships. He'd just be like, no!
And that lady would come in and be like, "You broke your ships."
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be over.
You broke your little ships they have.
John, you could buy a lifetime subscription to Star Trek the Fighter.
Oh, yeah, it would.
There'd be good ones. Gul
Dukat
Dukat would definitely be in it for sure.
Sure. Dukat would be great.
What's his name? Cole Meany. What
O'Brien.
The Irish Bruiser. Like, come on, man. That guy's going to fight.
Totally. He's one of these boxers. Like this.
Yeah, exactly. I think he probably even fought like that in the show, I'm sure, at some point.
Your dumb idea is growing on me. I kind of
Get
want
Lieutenant Broccoli in there.
Yep.
He just disappears into the holodeck for a while, and then a cleanup crew has to go in and mop the floor.
You can only fight him in there where he's pretending to be way cooler than he is.
Data would be a formidable fighter. He'd be super precise.
Yeah.
He's your android fighter.
He'd be like your Goku, though. There'd be like, for no reason, 8 versions of Data in it. You'd have Data, Lore, Dr. Weirdo, him with some human skin on him, inexplicably old.
What's his name? He has a name.
I know. I couldn't think of it.
I like
so
Dr.
Dr. Weirdo.
I like Dr. Weirdo.
What the hell's his name? Gosh dang.
Dr.
They could have that annoying ass Mark Twain as unlockable fighter.
Well, Mr. Data.
Mark Twain DLC.
Automaton. Won't shut the fuck up the entire match.
What's Whoopi Goldberg doing here?
You'd have the Borg Queen, and then you'd have whatever his name was, like Howard.
It's not Howard. It's not Howard. It's the Borg is called
Hugh.
Hugh.
Yeah, I was close. He might as well be called Howard the Borg.
Howard the Borg.
I mean, he's huge.
Shit.
And, there's so many characters. You make such a deep roster of fighters.
Sign me up. I'd play your game. Sounds all right. It sounds all right. Yeah. I would do it. All right, back to life. Back to reality. EA canceled the Black Panther game, and I'm pretty pissed. They also closed the studio, but the game itself was, by all accounts, and I had talked to people who had played it, said it was shaping up, and it was rad, and now we're never going to know. They're just done. They don't think there's money in that IP at the moment. No one's excited about Black Panther things.
There's no money in one of the best Marvel movies, best-selling Marvel.
I mean, I hate not to be morbid about it, but I wonder if the death of its star contributed to just lack of, excitement around it. Because, without him, what's the point?
To be fair, the follow-up was not nearly as good as Black Panther, but still, it's...
it's kind of a bummer.
That's crazy.
But they closed it. We're not going to get it. That's it. No game. Sorry, everybody. The cat is out of the bag. It's left. It's gone home. The cat came back and then left again. It had 8 lives. This was its 9th. It's dead. That's all the scenario I have. That's all the metaphors I have.
Yeah, it was good. It was good while it lasted.
Thank you. Anyway, thanks a lot, EA. You did it again. Also, I don't know why they closed the studio. The studio was full of really talented people. It was.
I kind of feel like they wanted to close the studio more than cancel the game.
Yeah. Let's see, 700 people. Jeez.
Why would they close a 700 studio? Like, they can make something.
Dog barking. Yeah, they could. They could make this game.
Yes.
And then have this game come out and have people like it and sell well. That's what they could have done.
Like, are they all laid off or moved? Do we know?
It says laid off, but let's see. I'm trying to find it here. Memo: company is canceling the game and closing the entire studio, which is the sub studio, to quote sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities.
So they just closed it, but they could like sell it for $1 back to like whoever had it, right?
Well, I mean, technically, Marvel/Disney own the rights.
I guess, yeah. I guess they get to keep all the stuff that's invented underneath the company, but like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, like they were sold with the hopes that it was going to be helpful for the company. I'm sure some people would like to still see that company running. It's so weird how it works. Maybe they're reforming.
Let's see who said this. Freddie Lee, senior environment architect for the game, said that the game was, let me read the quote, Black Panther, this dev mourns the death of EA's stunning and amazing game. And he's annoyed that no one will ever get to see what they were making. And the team was like incredible. I mean, we'll never know, but thanks EA, you did it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I land on it. Sometimes it's hard to tell what you're missing when you don't know anything about it. So, you know, I always hope for cool games. Sounds like they didn't have faith in it. You know, whether that was for good reason or not, I don't know. But we're not going to know.
Nope.
We're not going to find out.
Nope. We no longer know.
We still have Hugh.
Yeah, we have Hugh. We're Howard. We have Howard.
Hugh.
Howard the
Howard the Borg.
Howard the Borg. That's so dumb.
It'd be like Howard of 7 or something like that, right?
Oh, I like that. So there's seven Howards? No, that doesn't work.
It's like 7 of 9, just the way they structured their names, right? So he's like Howard of 7.
Howard of 7. But that implies 7 Howards, and he's just one of them.
Yeah.
Could be.
Right? Because 7 of 9 isn't like a name. It's 7 of 9 others. Or, sorry, number 7 of 9 total. If you had 10, or let's say you had 9 Howards, you'd be 7 of Howard is what you'd be.
7 of Howard. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'm really glad we took the time to work
7 of Howard. Yeah. Thank you for
God
it, Scott.
we figured this out.
Did you follow that 2 of John?
Yeah, I think John's got it too. We're all good now.
No, I got kind of hung up on the Borg naming policy, like 7 of 9. It's like, okay, I get, but shouldn't there be another like qualifier on there? Because like, what if they assimilate a group of 9 twice? Then you have 2 7s of 9.
Oh shit! Exactly. Or what if you're 7 of 400? But yeah, you know what? It's bad.
You
It's
can't
not
abbreviate
good.
to 7. There needs to be like a batch lot number on there too.
Yeah, that's effed up.
Like 7 of 9 of lot 382 or
Like
something.
N4 of SH or something like that.
Weston Wright in the chat says you'd still be 7 of 9 regardless of the name. That's true, even if you're 7 of Howard. But see, that makes it easier to tell. If there's only one Howard, saying 7 of Howard makes you a unique 7. So if you had a 7, and there's a 7 of Larry. Oh, I want it to be Larry David so bad.
It's David of Larry.
David of Larry.
David of Larry.
I'm in the mood to rewatch that whole series. I might do that soon. Let's talk about this. After a year and a half of updates, WoW Classic Season of Discovery is finally winding down in favor of something brand new. They said, quote, we need to get the proverbial kitchen and cook, unquote. They're doing some whole new thing. We don't know what it is yet, but they're doing a new Discovery's over. Bo, you're the only one that played Season of Discovery.
I played Season of Discovery. It was fun till it got to be... It's easy for it to get out of grasp, I guess. With all the games that are out of play, it's just hard. Yeah. Retail WoW came out, and now there's just other games to play, so it's even hard to play Retail WoW. There's just lots to do.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But if you like Classic WoW, they're going to do it again. I think it was a huge success. I think it drew in a lot of numbers, so I'm expecting to see something more. But I think my one feedback on all of it would just be, please stop putting retail level raid mechanics in the game. Just make it easy. It's fine. It doesn't have to be hard. That's kind of why Classic's enjoyable. It doesn't have to be that hard.
Do you feel like the rest of the Classic community would echo that, or do you feel like it's
I don't know, because I don't know. It's one of those. I think everyone's got opinions. I just think for me, when we were getting to raid and stuff was getting so challenging, everyone had stuff to do, and then I'm raiding in retail, and I'm like, oh, these are like the same thing. I thought Classic was like easy, like, Molten Core is like not the hardest. There's a few clutch things you got to do, but it's pretty,
Sure. Yeah.
It's not like this Undermine raid. Like, holy shit, dude! I know you haven't been doing it, but it's like there's just lasers everywhere, and I'm like, I know we're doing heroic, but I'm like, I just kind of want a casual good time to roll over the stuff. It's like it's gone to a point where it's just like,
yeah. I mean, mechanic creep is real. It's been real. Like, I don't even have to raid the current stuff. It was like that several expansions ago where it's like, man, you read the mechanics for boss 1 and it's 3 paragraphs longer than the final boss mechanics from 2 expansions ago. It's insane.
It's not even the mechanics, it's literally all the lights. I actually really liked the War Within raid. Was really good. I found like I kind of got spoiled a little bit on it. Like Overnax was a pain in the ass, but I liked how hard the last one was. It was hard in a way that wasn't like overwhelming. This Undermine raid, it's just circles and lasers everywhere all the time. I don't even know what's going on. I'm glad our raid team knows what's going on because I've been showing up and going like, all right. And like not doing anything. The people have responsibilities in raid or whatever, and I'm just kind of like,
they're not giving you a job. You're just spinning and
no, because they know I've missed like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. So when I show up, I'm just like, I'm just gonna press rampage.
Yeah. There's a simplicity to what you're talking about.
I'm just gonna chill over here, and I feel a little bad because other people are doing all the work. They're bringing the flasks. They're knowing the mechanics. I mean, shit. Tanner will even be like, please watch this 5-minute video, and I'm doing it like while the raid is happening. He's like, please watch this 5-minute raid. I can't even be bothered to watch it.
Oh, poor Tanner.
Because it's like, and he's great.
He is great. Yeah, we love Tanner.
But it's like, I'm having a hard time. I know you haven't been raiding.
No, I've not been in it at all, but mine is multifaceted reasons. Time, other issues.
Are you
also,
coming back for the next one?
I'm a little burned for the next expansion. Yes.
Yeah.
I always do new expansion, but right now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm good for a bit.
Yeah, we're not missing much. Just while we're on the subject of WoW, this new Undermine thing is really cool. Like they did a lot of good work in it and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it has to do with the War Within.
Yeah.
So it's really boring. Like I kind of was hoping, with Anseric dead, the real dangerous spiders would, it's like the Nerubian Empire was a stopgap for like the real bads underground, and it's like, no, we're just gonna go dick around with some goblins, kind of. And I realize they do that a lot with their expansions, where it's just like, here's this cool expansion, now here's this weird thing from left field, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you'd rather go on to the next big terrible
escalating. Yeah, just I don't know. That was just my feedback on it. Hopefully the next one isn't like that.
Like I'm not like down on the game or anything. I'm just like at a stage. I'm just at that stage I hit all the time in the expansion.
No, I can't play it for every day for 2 years straight.
Yeah, I just can't do it. It's too many other games. There's too many other interests. If you asked me back in 04, 05, of course that's all I'd want to do because that's all there was.
Now, too many mechanics.
Yeah, too many mechanics. Exactly. They was talking about too many cooks in a kitchen. How about too many mechanics at the car dealership? How about that?
So that was my feeling about WoW Classic 2, where it's like I want new content for it.
Yeah.
But I want it to be a chill, good time. Like I want patchwork fights and stuff. I'm not like trying to retail raid with like the tank has to do this, and then there's a tank swap, and then if you touch your button on this thing, you're on fire. And watch the swirlies. It's like, okay, this is a bit much. Can everyone just do their damage rotation and get some loot and call it a day?
Definitely piles on.
To go play Kingdom Come.
Yeah, definitely piles on, no doubt. All right, well, that's it for news. We have got to take a break. When we come back from this break, we're going to dive into Dear Martha. We got some games we played this week. I'm going to be so annoying today at the thing I'm going to gush about. You guys are going to be so sick of me. I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the thing I'm gushing about, plus a few more. We got a bunch of stuff, actually. A lot of interesting picks this week, I think. And after that, some of your feedback. A whole bunch more coming up. Stay tuned. Hey, we're back, everybody. Look, Bo, while we were at the break, I got some, it's called Small Wins, and they're suckers. They're sugar-free suckers.
Small wins.
Small wins.
Yeah.
Small W's.
Yeah.
Small winnies.
And that guy in the back, he's called the Candy Dude.
It's Candy Dude.
It's Tatum, the Candy Dude. Yep. It's good stuff. Good, exciting stuff. All right. Hey, we're back, everybody. That means it's time for us to get into the Dear Martha mood, which is always fun. This one's a bit of a contest per usual. And John, I'll let you explain it. What are we doing today?
Yeah, we're doing Find the Flaw again because, man, a lot of people, it's good for engagement.
Yeah, we like good engagement here.
Also, apparently it's a lot of fun, and Scott and Bo are terrible at the game, and that's fun too.
Yeah.
So it makes you, if you get it at home, feel extra smart.
Sure.
Because you did what could not be accomplished. But last week, Bo got half a point.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can go.
Well, when you say it like that, it makes it sound like I'm really bad.
Yeah.
He actually managed to get half of a point. That's
Wow, well
incredible.
done.
Wow.
It's impressive.
Let's see.
First
If he
point,
can-
by the way. First half point ever.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, let's see if we can top it this week. So we're playing Find the Flaw. I'm going to read a Dear Martha letter. In it, we're going to talk about a video game or accessory, or maybe both. And somewhere in there is going to be an inaccuracy that, in the true nature of the internet, needs to be corrected. It is stolen. Actually, we call it Find the Flaw.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to it right now.
Here we go.
My dearest Martha, Martha, it has been said that hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side. And so it was on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The home console that became such a huge hit, and sometimes included a little robot, also had another pretty well-known peripheral, the NES Blaster, a light gun most well known for its slick look, weird springy sounds when it shoots, and its frequent use to attempt to kill lots and lots of ducks. Duck Hunt was many people's first experience with the NES as a game, as it was a launch title in the US. The game allowed players to attempt to shoot ducks as well as clay pigeons. Of course, one of the most infamous parts of Duck Hunt was your loyal hunting dog, who earned the ire of many a gamer by laughing if you failed to shoot any ducks down in a round. Despite our need to give lore to anything and everything, somehow the Duck Hunt dog has never been given an actual name, always known simply as the Duck Hunt dog or the Laughing Dog.
Okay.
Even when the dog and ducks were eventually featured in Super Smash Bros. As a playable character, they were simply referred to as Duck Hunt. The game was meant to be more of a singular challenge than any sort of story or completable video game experience, as finishing Game A's 99th round moves to a kill screen round 0, which would effectively glitch the game into a game over. Thanks for reading my letter, Martha, and for giving a duck. Yours in this life and the next, Laughing Dog Sound 86.
I can't believe the dog never got a name. I'm a little blown away by that.
Well, unless that's the flaw.
Well, it could be the flaw, I suppose.
Beep. I'm buzzing in.
Oh, buzz in. What do you...
Look at Bo chasing it immediately.
Yeah, what'd you get?
It's not a blaster. It's a zapper.
That is correct.
We have an immediate win.
Why didn't
Bo
I type
got
it?
it instantly.
Why did I let Bo talk first? I knew this.
It is called the NES Zapper, not the
Kapow.
NES Blaster.
Damn it. All right.
1.5 points now, baby.
Nicely done. Yeah, I knew it was a zapper
It feels
too.
good to actually know something for a change.
Yeah, I knew it was.
I loved the zapper, and you know what else I had for the Super NES? I had the bazooka. I can't remember what that one
The
was
Super Scope.
Super Scope. That's it.
Yeah, Super Scope
shit.
was great.
That would have been good for another one. Sorry.
No, hell yeah.
No, that's fine.
That's
I forgot that
great.
one. But Super Scope is. I loved the Super Scope.
Did it really work though? It didn't really do anything, did it?
Yep.
Did
Oh
it?
I mean, it
yeah.
worked as well as the Zapper. You had to take off. You could mix and match. You could turn it into all sorts of stuff. It could be a gun. It could be a bazooka. It could be a machine gun.
Yeah. Well, did any of the three of you have or two? I think it's just two of you. Did either of you have the
You're eating too many of those candies. Stop eating that.
what?
Those
I
big
can't,
weenies.
I can't remember what the name of the thing. Oh, the Sega Genesis Interactor. No,
I had a Power Glove though.
What's that called? Interactor. Anyway, you danced in it or moved and fought in it. It was like a little ring around you. That it was.
Oh no, I never had that.
Yeah,
No.
that makes me cool.
I had the glove though. I had the Power Glove.
Yeah. Did it change your life? Was it
I played this game where you catch a ball and throw it at a wall.
It was a video game, right? You didn't just do this in real life.
Yeah, no.
'cause that seems.
No. There's a real game like it's Chance, right, where you have to throw the ball and run to the wall.
Yeah.
You ever played that?
No.
No, you never played
It
Chance?
seems like such a easily replicatable game that
I'm trying
it's
to
so
think.
realistic the way I throw this ball at this wall.
I mean, I haven't played Chance, Chance ball game. I don't know if it was just a Canadian thing, but it was a game where you throw a ball at the wall and
You had to jump in the air, grab it, chuck it again before
there was
you
a
land.
reason you had to run to the wall and two-hand touch the wall. And if you're the last one, it's bad or something.
Oh, I never did that.
Yeah, we called it Chance, but it was... Does anyone in the chat room know what I'm talking about? You played it with a tennis ball.
Chat's so far saying they don't know.
I don't know if I owned it or
Activator.
if somebody else owned it, but I had the thing you wore on your head and it put a little visor in front of your eye and you talked into it. So you played Duck Hunt by like looking at the ducks going, shoot, 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 and it didn't work at
Is
all.
that
It was
real?
Super Glove... Okay, this is the game, Scott. Sorry to interrupt you, John.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
But this is Super Glove Ball. That's what I had.
Super glove ball.
From Mattel.
Hold on, let me look at this. I've never heard of this. This is a Mattel game.
No glove ball, no love ball.
I mean, no love ball is.
It's like Arkanoid, but 3D.
Okay,
But
let's-
also not 3D.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I totally remember this.
I have seen this.
This
game.
came with the glove, or did you have to buy it separate?
I don't remember. I think we got
Look at
it
that
used,
wizard.
But I think we got it used, but I definitely had the Power Glove.
That
It was
wizard is serious.
I was so young when I had the Power Glove. It mostly got used to just play with like not video games, like when we were playing guns.
Yeah.
I have a cyborg arm, and I'm gonna blow up the building and go do, 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 and just press it.
I would pay real money to see Bo running around at like 10 with a power glove.
Yeah, we had
love
Power
that.
Glove, and we had like assault rifles and stuff. We played this game called Guns, where we pretend we were action heroes in movies and shoot imaginary bad guys all the time. And so having the Power Glove was a great upgrade for that game.
That's pretty great. So the headset fiery thing, John, I have a memory of this. That didn't work very well, as I remember.
No,
right?
it didn't work at all. So it seemed like it because it put a thing in front of your eye. Surely that had to work, but
Duck Hunt headset. See if I can find it.
yeah,
Is
you
it
just-
this?
I don't know if you need the
I'm trying to find somebody
just
with.
like NES headset peripheral. I don't know. I don't know what you would search for.
NES.
Does anybody know what it was called?
Yeah, what was that called? Because I remember this vaguely and remember thinking that looks like it probably doesn't work. And then everyone I talked to, it didn't. I can't find a video. That's unusual. Usually I can find
What
it.
about
Auto- Here it is, the laser scope. It's called the laser scope. It was by Konami.
Okay. Oh, it was a Konami joint. Laser.
Konami laser scope.
But it should work. Technically, that thing was supposed to work with any game that had light gun support, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Let me move this
Look at
guy.
that.
Let me move this
Look
guy.
at what a piece of trash that was.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Just looking at it. I want to see this on his head. There you go. So we need a picture of John wearing this shit.
Can you imagine working at Nintendo? Can you imagine working at Nintendo and making that though? That'd be awesome.
Oh hell yeah! You kidding? I was on the team that made the Super Scope.
Oh, here's
What?
another video of it.
Or laser
I
scope?
think it shows it in better detail.
Let's see what you got.
Oh,
yeah.
The angry video game nerd looking at it.
Yeah, he does things.
You know what I think everybody had was the power pad or power. Yeah, the power pad. Everybody had the power pad, right? For the NES, because everybody played track and field on that thing.
Maybe I do remember it. I don't think I had it though. I had the gun, the scope, the robot, the glove, and that might have been it.
Oh, I never had the robot.
Robbie the robot or whatever they called it was great.
Yeah.
Or
I never had him, but I did have the power pad. I always, for whatever reason, I remember the power pad really not working well, but I remember the smell of the power pad for some reason. Like that has lived with me my entire life, is the smell of the power pad whenever anybody got that out.
Could you describe the smell now?
No, I can't. It's like a weird
plastic?
sterile, it's sort of like what you get when people pull out like a inner tube and they're like, let's blow this thing up.
Yeah.
It's like that sort of thing, but then also the knowledge of 100 feet running on it. I don't know.
That's wild.
It just had a smell to it. It was just weird.
Yeah. I do remember a smell to my garage bands or instrument sets. They had a very factory fresh burnt plastic thing going.
Yeah.
And they never lost it. So if we pulled those out, the room smelled like we worked at a plastic factory.
It was like that for a while.
Yeah.
It was going to stick
It
around.
was really weird. All right. Well, Bo, big congrats to your speedy solving.
Thanks, man.
That was impressive.
Zippity doo dah, zippity day.
You did it.
One.
All right. I'm going to talk about a game that I can't stop talking about or thinking about. This game that I'm going to talk about is a game called Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Oh, I
The
forgot.
one you talked about last week, but you hadn't played it yet.
I hadn't
Now
played it
you've
yet.
Played it.
I bought it, and then I thought, okay, I've had
You
time.
hate it. It's terrible.
It
That's what
turns
you gotta tell
out.
us.
Oh, I forgot to play this. Games we played this week. I want to play a little bit of this intro. Let me get a little audio going here. Hold on a second.
Dwellers, using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleanse the land of the weirdness.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead to
You know who that is, right?
who is
Man, I
that?
want to cleanse the world of the weirdness.
Who is it? Who's the voice? Should I know that?
The voice is so familiar. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's very
Play a
good.
little bit again?
Well, hold on. Let me see, because that was the end of her thing. Hold on.
Autumn,
Oh, there she is. Let me go back. Hold on.
stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
She the narrator in BG3 or no? Maybe not.
BG3 is where my mind went to. Oh yeah, I think it is the narrator. That's right. She plays what's her beak in Divinity Original Sin 2. It's
Right.
that okay, so hang on. Narrator, BG3.
She's
I
great.
Can't remember the name. Amelia Tyler.
That's it.
I'm pretty sure that's her.
I think
right?
that's her too. Yeah, I think so. This game's got a bunch of cool names attached to it that surprised me. But this little bit here, you got to watch. This is really great. Watch this. So if you're at home, you're going to want to look this up. But the audio's cool too. This song right here. All right, that's the king, by the way. So that's cool and everything, but let me dump ahead to where it gets really cool.
Yeah. This
Check
whole
this
thing
out.
is awesome.
Anyway, the intro is freaking badass.
Yeah, it makes me think the bad guys are who I should be hanging out with. They're just having a friggin' rager down there singing about Boba Fett or something.
Yeah, they're bringing back to life.
like that.
They're bringing back to life to the king. So this is all alternate fiction around the Arthurian lore. So that is King Arthur. He's trying to revive the actual King Arthur, and it's all about Camelot, but with a K, and all this stuff. It's also, if you played Tainted Grail, the CCG or the roguelike card thing from 2 years ago, then you've seen this world. You've heard of the weirdness, all that stuff. I'm hearing Bo. Is that you breathing, Bo? Is that you? I can't tell if that's you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry. I just had an
Are
exhale.
you breathing, Bo? Can you cut it out?
Can you stop breathing like a human being and not
Can
have
you
to
just-
respirate? Can you-
Sorry, I
Just
needed-
join
I
the
needed
army
to
of
catch
the
my breath.
undead.
Yeah, could you please not? It can be a zombie. Just kidding. Anyway, so this game is based on that world. I think what was going on is they were actually building this, which is called Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, or The Fall of Avalon. They were making this, and while they were making this, they're like, hey, we'll make this little strategy game while we're at it and help fund the game and whatever. And they did that. And there's also a board game and some other stuff. But this thing kind of came out of nowhere. There are a few people that knew. And for the last,
It's been in early access for a long time.
yeah,
I'd seen it.
like 8
Yeah.
months or something like that. It had been received pretty well in early access, but early access, you don't hear much about these things. And I didn't know they were tied to the same developer or that same team that made that other game until I picked this up. And it is, the best way I can describe it, it is Skyrim in terms of world exploration, fast travel, big cities. What's that cave over there? I better go check it out. Holy shit, I just spent 3 hours in this awesome cave. And I came out with some rad loot that has nothing to do with the quest I was on. That kind of Skyrimness is everywhere in this game. And then match that up with a grim, dark as hell vibe and look. like just dark, I don't know what to compare it to, just dark fantasy, very grimdark. And it's a lot of this sort of thing that I just showed you, bringing shit back to life and crazy character design, boss design, enemy design. But at the same time, there's a lot of like familiar Arthurian stuff in there too that you'll go, oh, I've heard of Camelot. Didn't ever spell it with a K, so that's weird. But also I'd heard of this guy. He was a knight, but in this, he's all effed up. And the world's very magical. There's, vampires and elves and all this stuff. So it's not a straight take on the actual Arthurian lore that was based on reality. This is Arthurian lore based on a bunch of wild concepts. The game is so good, you guys. I can't stop playing this game. I was already having this itchy problem with these open world freaking, Bethesda likes. I was
Oblivion. I'm far in the dust now.
I know, right? I didn't pick it up, so I still have it on Game Pass. But Oblivion, it's not that I won't ever get back to Oblivion. It's just that I played Oblivion back in the day entirely. So what's less interesting to me is replaying Oblivion, and what's more interesting to me is playing games that are sort of in that vein, but new.
It says new stuff in it, so I get it.
Yeah, lots of new stuff, including some of the coolest combat I've seen in games like this. And I'm not sure even what to compare it to. But the other thing I was going to compare it to would be maybe a little of the Diablo vibe, but more like a From game, like a Souls-like. And I don't mean that in combat or difficulty. I mean it in just like the vibe. It's got like Elden Ring smell to it. And by that, I just mean like, what in the F am I looking at? What is that thing over there? Why is that creature got that many heads? Like those kinds of things pop up all the time. And let's see, I'll skip ahead to some actual gameplay here. This is just the intro, so it's not going to give it to me at all.
I actually picked this up.
Oh, you did you?
I thought it looked cool. I haven't played it yet, so it's not a shared play just yet, but I thought this had a real good look to it.
I'll be really curious once you do play it, what you think. It is, there's the actual gameplay. Okay. I just want to be able to show people what it looks like running around. You're going to look at this and go, oh, yeah, first person, open world dealio. But look at all the weird shit everywhere. Like you're praying to a pile of severed hands. That's going to give you some cool benefits and bonuses. You're going to get told some more story. Every once in a while when you camp, Arthur, or the visage of Arthur, sits and talks to you. And there's a whole story there I don't want to get into because it's a bit spoilery, but you talk to this guy all the time, which is really cool. You are in lots of scenarios where you can kind of train however you want. You have starting classes like usual where it's like, all right, I have some bonus as this character to strength and defense, and this one to sneaking and arrows or whatever. So you can kind of, pick your starting stats with little boosters in certain areas if you know you're going to play a thief or whatever. But you can kind of change your mind and do whatever you want. A lot like a Bethesda game, you can just sort of build out whatever skills you want. What you play with, you will advance. Your skills will improve naturally, as well as ones you can put points into for perks and so on. Like all that stuff's pretty straightforward. Lots of like itemized loot dropping for you to put on your dude. You can play in third person or first person, so you can see all that loot and armor if you want. And magic is very cool in this. Like I was raising skeletons and hucking lightning balls before I knew it, and it's so badass. The combat feels real good. I won't call it the greatest first-person melee or even ranged combat, but it kind of doesn't matter. It's better than, it's better than Skyrim's. Yeah, it does its job, and it does it pretty well. It's compelling. It's hard at first. You get in and go, oh shit, I'm not prepared for this fight. But you very quickly start to get your head around things and you're starting to do really well. And it's the kind of game where you can pick up almost everything. It's not nearly as cluttered as, say, Skyrim or Oblivion, where every single object in every place is a thing you can put in your bag. But a lot of stuff is, and you can pick up a whole bunch of things, and most of it's useful. It's the other thing I like about it. The crafting's very cool, very easy to get into. The quests are great. There's lots of side quests. Like I said, it's got that aspect to this that I love about these games, which is I'm going somewhere important, but I see off in the distance like a giant stone goat head, and I'm like, well, I have to know what that is, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oops. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I go to where the big giant goat head is, and I start exploring around. And before I know it, I'm in the dungeons of this horrible old ancient place and fighting these necromancer, cultist gods who are pissed at me for who knows what. And by the end, I end up with like a really great set of armor and weapons, and then I can go on about my day. And it feels like every corner they think about this stuff. There's even this little pit. I've seen it online too, but a little pit at the edge of this castle. It's actually this castle that enters into a city, and there's like vendors in there, and it's a very active place. But just outside of it, there's like a rock formation, and at the very bottom, almost like a drain, you look down there and I can see a skeleton. And I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what's down there. Can I loot that guy? Has he got some cool shit? Like, why would they put that here if they didn't want me to see it? Even though it's still sort of hard to see, but I found it. I go down into this hole, and he's not lootable. He's got nothing there. And I'm walking around this hole, and I realize, shit, I'm the next version of this guy. I look up out of the sky, and there's no way to get out. I literally had to load a save because
whoops.
They on purpose put me in a place where a dude also did that and then died. And I'm so dumb, I thought I could go down there with him. Like, there's little touches like that all over the place. And it really punches above its weight for a game that is essentially an indie title. The engine's really nice. It runs really well. Runs on my Steam Deck better than Oblivion does. And so I've been able to take it with me a little bit and go back and forth. And what else was I going to say? I'm pretty far. I've got most of the first biome kind of cleared out. I'm on to the second. There's 3 major zones that you do stuff in. They're very liberal with giving you good fast travel points here and there. Feels a little like they do it in ESO, actually. And I think they probably took some inspiration from that. But it's just constantly showing me new shit and making exploration be really, really satisfying. Like, exploration just feels good. I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, what did I run into here? Now I'm going to spend the next 2 hours exploring this little farm because I got weird shit in here. And I went down one of these holes and found a whole bunch of weird other things. Like, it's just the feeling you used to get in those early days of Skyrim. I'm getting that again here. There's a blood lake for no reason that I swam to the bottom of, and I found something cool down there. It's just badass stuff like that. And every once in a while I have to remind myself I'm not playing a AAA studio one of these. I'm playing something by a small team. And it hit me that it's not, this isn't an $80 game. And I'm having as much or more fun in this than I am in the $80 versions of this sort of thing. I'm completely hooked on it, I think.
Been a lot of that this year.
Yeah, been a lot of that this year.
Maybe the theme of the year is, hey, a smaller team for a lesser price put together a better than AAA experience.
Yeah, that's happening a lot. I don't know why that's happening, but if you look at Expedition, if you look at this, if you look at various other games this year that are getting so much praise, most of them are not giant EA or Microsoft or anyone drops, right? They're just like, hey, this studio's been working on this for a while. Guess what? It's out. Here's a little bit of magic fighting, and you can do it like this. This guy's using a melee magic build, so he's fighting with a sword and he's shooting shit out of his hands. You can do multiple loadouts of your spell configuration, weapon configuration. There's of course bow mastery. They do sort of, in Skyrim, they have the constellation skill system where you go up and put it in the stars or whatever. They have something not really quite like that. It's not nearly as verbose as it. It's more simplified, but it is that kind of idea. And you go, apply skills, and it feels like I'm getting them quite often. Oh, see, here's a good example. Go into this lake. Here's a hole. Where does this hole go? I guess there's a quest in there, but anyway, it's very cool. I don't know what else to say about it.
Is the leveling system like the Elder Scrolls, where you have to jump 100 times to get your jump point?
There is definitely passive progression on like athletics, on skills like that, endurance, those sorts of things. They are you're not constantly, but every once in a while you see a little UI go plus 14 to acrobatics, and it's because you just ran somewhere for a long time. There's horses, there's, other ways to get around. Like I said, the very generous teleportation system for fast travel, which I'm always a fan of. once you explore a place, it's just a nice reward to know you can kind of just go back there. It's a sign of a good one of these, in my opinion. But lots of different diversity in the biomes and the characters and creatures you fight. The humans are just dicks, and so you're fighting them a lot. A couple of dark storylines. Oh, I picked up some like medieval smut. That was fun.
Nice.
So it's basically a table, and on the table was a book. And I picked it up, and it was this short story that was all euphemisms about you and this lady getting it on. And it's just got weird shit like that in it. A lot of,
and you're saying that was good. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It was a nice touch it felt like it fit in the world.
It was a nice touch, huh?
Yeah, it was a nice, touch is the word I'll use. But no, there was
a nice touch while reading the book.
There was no touching, I can promise you that. But anyway, it's very, very cool. Also, it's very generous with your encumbrance, which is a nice change to these kind of games. It's still, you have a limit, and you can increase that limit. There's, it's part of the game, but it isn't nearly as restrictive as an Elder Scrolls game. Those games make you pissed every 5 minutes.
It also sounds like the problem with the Elder Scrolls, you can pick up everything.
Yeah.
You have like 50 rolls of bread in your bag.
And there's a bit of that here, but it's way less of that here. It's
okay.
They want you to feel like the world is pick upable, but they know that too much is too much, and they can't keep it under control. Everyone's voiced. I should say the voice acting real good across the board. Haven't had anybody phone it in. Your guy doesn't talk, but that's normal for these. And I'm gonna save Avalon. Damn it, if it kills me. So
yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna say
Tsushima, how's that.
I'm not gonna say the words. I'm going to beat this game in the next week. I won't say that, but I'm having a ball, and it's the one I want to keep going back to. I keep going back to it.
Ring up Tsushima and say, "Hey, Scott said he's gonna save us. How'd that work out for you guys?"
Yeah, how'd you do with that information? Anyway, it's very good. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, available now. It is scratching an itch real hard, like
scratching a taint.
And if you're like me, look, I'm reading another book that's very grimdark fantasy right now. That's certainly helping. I'm in the mood for that. And if you like that sort of thing, like I would throw out there, if anyone's read the Joe Abercrombie books, The Blade itself, and the First Law series and all that, this is that in game form in terms of its like grimdarkness. But it's also funny when it needs to be. There's some moments of real humor and some weird shit. I turned into a chicken for a hot minute. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had to work that out. But anyway, I didn't even mention the one thing that kind of distinguishes this. At night, just like that card game, Bo, that you and I played, Tainted Grail.
Conquest, yeah.
The world at night gets the weirdness, spelled WYRD. Weird.
So it's more dangerous at night?
Yes, but it's also different at night. So it's not like the stuff's just buffer. And it's really cool the way it looks. It's creepy as shit. If you're sleeping through the night because you set up camp and choose to sleep, which will let you save and level up and all that, while you're sleeping, it will wake you from your sleep. The weirdness is just too damn weird for you to sleep through it. Most of the time, you just go right back to sleep if you want. But it's got this idea that this nighttime stuff is really bothersome, and it is freaky. And there's a weird light on everything. It's very weird. But inside of that, new creatures appear, new stuff to fight in areas where they aren't there during the day, or in some cases, certain drops are only going to happen from these creatures while they're in this like nighttime weirdness form. So some quests you want to camp until a certain time of night. It's typical stuff in these games. But this game does just an incredible job of marrying that tone that I love so much with the mechanics that I go to Bethesda for most of the time. And it's just such a good combo. I'm loving it. Just having a blast. It's real good. And it felt like it came out of nowhere, and I got it for $44. It was on sale if you bought it with something else. They do bundles, and they're always a little bit less or whatever. It's like no-brainer, this thing. So I can't recommend it enough. They're also super active in like their forums and saying, all right, we've got a bug fix coming for this or that. Like right now, I'm having an issue where my skeletons I've risen. I do some necromancy. They will sometimes
dabble in a little necromancy here and there.
They'll sometimes walk right in front of a lootable corpse as I'm trying to loot it, and it will stop my looting because it's a hover loot, not a click into it and now there's a menu to loot. It's you're hovering over it and you choose what to loot while you're hovering. You're not actually, the game's not paused. So when my skeleton walks by, he just blocks it. So that's a fix that's coming, they've mentioned, but that's something I noticed. little bugs here and there, but not near the jank you get from Bethesda launches. Those things crash, for 4 days until they work right. And this, I haven't had any of that. So anyway, I'm loving it. It's real good. Take that as a high recommendation.
All right. And John's going to play it, so you guys will gush about it next week, too.
Yeah. I think John would. I actually think John really like this. The tone is.
I'm very curious about it, too. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of diversity in the look and feel of things, despite the grim darkness. So you are going to notice that it's very focused on like, like the guy in Elden Ring, that guy. Where is he anyway? I have him somewhere. That guy. There's a lot of like that vibe of things, but it's also tons of diversity in the armor types and just the way things look in the day versus night, the different biomes. It's real diverse. So I think it'll appeal to you in that way. It's not just like, it's all dark green, brown, and Skyrim-y. It's not like that. Anyway, that's that. So again, the name is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Go check it out. And then, as if I couldn't get enough these top-down city mayhem games. Last week I talked about Must Deliver at All Costs or whatever, or Deliver at All Costs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This week I picked up another one, and it was recommended to me because they said, if you like that, you will love this. And they were right. It's called The Precinct, and it's about being a cop. And it's the top-down city mayhem deal, except in this case, you're arresting dudes. And
it looks like reverse GTA.
Oh, it's absolutely gets here's some gameplay. It's actually, the camera's much closer to the car, but it's very much that. Like, this is GTA reversed. You're the cop. You're checking cars for speeding. You're pulling people over. You're stopping gang fights. A guy's painting the wall he shouldn't be. You're stopping him. You're arresting. You're collecting evidence. You're checking their IDs. They're all pretty simple mechanics, but they're all happening as you're being a cop, all while there's this big overlying story about your dad, who is also a cop, got killed, and you're kind of on track to figure out what the hell happened to your dad. So there's this long connected story, but for the most part, this game is moments of like, I'm driving through town. That guy is taking that lady's purse. I'm going to chase him down. And on him are some contraband watches, so I can give him another charge, and I'm going to arrest him. And there's car chases, and you got to like call in support from a helicopter. And
I'm seeing a lot of shooting of people though for police.
Oh hell yeah, tons of shooting. Like, you can get into serious fights.
I was a little curious. Like, how much does this make you adhere to the law? Because I'm watching the gameplay you have up. This cop just like nicely slams into another car as he's driving by, and you have to pull yourself over. Is that paperwork? What
like
is that?
I'm glad you asked this, because there's a mechanic at play here. When you, let's say it's an actual arrest and you're trying to do it by the book. If you don't read them their rights, you get docked XP. If you forget to, it's not hard, but if you forget to read the rights to the criminal, you're screwed. If you kill somebody before, like if they're shooting at you, you can use lethal force. If they're not, you're supposed to use all your options to de-escalate. And there's a bunch of those on your R button or your shoulder buttons. If none of those work, then you're allowed to shoot and go. If you just start shooting, you'd think, oh, well, you're off the force or something. No, you just get dinged some XP for doing it wrong.
So you can be Judge Dredd. You're just gonna level a lot slower.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So you lose some.
Slow.
I shouldn't say you lose XP. You just get, for your final XP at the end of a mission, when it adds it all up, it'll minus 100 here and 100 there for things you didn't do. So one of them.
To listen to the captain. Dredd, you're writing checks your ass can't catch.
Kind of like you got a guy back at the place who's like that, because that's the stereotype. Like, why not?
Yeah,
but like,
imagine your gun right now. You're badging your gun.
I found a guy in a dumpster. I pulled him out.
Suspended.
I did a search, found nothing on him. Did a check of his ID. They found no prior record. And I charged him. It says, well, what do you want to charge him with? And I gave him a charge of, I don't remember what it was, vagrancy or something. And then when I got to the XP part of the thing, it gave me a bad score for the wrong charge. I charged him for the thing. It's something he didn't do.
Oh.
So
you shouldn't have charged him. Dude's living in a dumpster.
I know.
Not committing any crimes.
I know. It was more me
he's clearly having a bad time, and you're like, I got to come up with some friggin' reason to charge this guy for something.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, can you bait them into being more violent so that you have an excuse to shoot them?
You have some options to Most of them are designed to de-escalate. They're not really designed to antagonize.
There's no escalate. They're not like, oh man, I've seen some ugly criminals in my day, but oh boy.
No.
Like what? And they start shooting at you, and you're like, lethal force?
Yeah. No, there's none of that. Although I have had people get aggressive with me because I'm just looking at them. And I can walk up to them and kind of just stand there, and they'll get more and more irritated that I'm just standing there. And they'll then start acting out, maybe punch me or something, and then I'll throw them down.
Who's this guy think he is standing here in a uniform?
Just looking at me, and they get all aggravated.
Well for me.
It's a lot of stuff like that. You also have some missions where you have to take them back to the precinct. Sometimes you can call in a backup officer to take the criminal in. There's the precinct itself where you are in there doing stuff, story things, walking around, talking to different people. You can book people there. It's really sandboxy, but here we go. See, this is you. When you see that little blue coming out of his face, that's you going, please stop, sir, stop running now, or I'm going to have to whatever. You're like, tell him. So there he goes. Boom.
I have to tackle you.
Bomb.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Then you pick him up, put, sometimes they don't surrender. So you got to fight them more. Sometimes they do. You cuff them, you question them. It's actually really good. The loop is good. It's real strong.
Oh man, who's this person that just ran and climbed a fence and clocked the
yeah,
cop?
that'll happen too. So you gotta sometimes, and you have a partner with you, so sometimes he'll do half the work.
Is there a guy filming you on a cell phone too?
Probably. There might be. The world's
Now's
pretty
my
alive.
chance. The cop's arresting somebody. I'm gonna climb the fence and punch him in the face.
Yeah. The only beef I have, if it's a beef at all, for a game that's relatively cheap, I think it's $24. And I got this one in another bundle with something. Oh, it's because I already owned the other top-down one I talked about last week, the Deliver at All Costs.
Oh, right.
And because those, for some reason, those two publishers have like a deal going, and if you buy one, you'll save like you'll save $4 on the other one as a bundle. So anyway, I did that. And what was I going to say about it? Oh, the voice acting is not the greatest thing you're going to hear this year. There's like a lot of sort of, hey, what are you doing? You have the right to remain. Like it's not horrible, but it's not great. All the story bits are told like this if they're like part of the main story. So you can see like their avatars talking to each other, little kind of JRPG style, a little bit. But it's good. Like the story's good. The voice, this is delivery. Let's hear some of it.
If you stop this shipment, you take away firepower from crooks all over the city. Pop-Pop's the real deal, though. He's gonna be a hard nut to crack. I'll keep my ears out for any more info.
It's like that.
Okay.
It's not terrible, but it's not.
No.
It's not Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. I can tell you that. Anyway, I like it though. I think it's really good. And if these kind of games appeal to people and they're looking for kind of a little GTA mini scratch, this, along with what I mentioned last week, are both great choices. This is called The Precinct and is available now on Steam and Xbox and PlayStation and I think Switch. I'm not sure on that. John, let's pull over to you and let's get your kingdom to come finally. Let's do it.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. It's done it twice. This is the second time.
Yeah, second time.
I've been playing more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Is a game that I think I like, probably. Maybe. I don't know sometimes.
I mean, I notice your hesitation is, I'm not sure what it's based on, but
I don't know if I've ever rage quit a game more than this. Not even rage quit, because rage quit is like I stood up and I threw my controller and I was like, never again. This is more of like and then shut it down, and then 10 minutes go by and I'm like, all right, I'm loading it back up. I'm gonna play again.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's such a weird game in that I like it. I think I'm having a good time with it overall.
Yeah.
But it's like at times I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. Like this game's a work of art. What an amazing thing this is. And then I get fucking chomped on by 5 wolves and I lose everything I did for the past hour. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I hate the save
You didn't
system.
drink schnapps. You didn't drink your schnapps.
because I didn't think to friggin' sit and drink a potion to save my game. But at times this game is just so freaking charming and wonderful and like stupid. And honestly, the fact of how stupid this game can get is part of where some of my frustration is, because like sometimes when games make weird choices in the name of simulation, you're like, okay, that's fine. But sometimes when you're like, okay, well, yeah, you're making a lot of choices in the name of simulation, but like also I just had a quest where I was talking to a dog and he was talking back to me.
Yeah. We're
not in a simulation right now. Like, it is different. So I don't know. There are elements of this game that I find right now really frustrating that people have told me gets better the more time I put into it. But I also, sometimes playing this game feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes it feels like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that's been hard to deal with. I had one very successful raid. I think Beau has done this quest because he showed me a picture, a screenshot of this quest, where I helped a man who was up in a tree because he was being attacked by wolves.
Oh, I did that one.
And then he fell out of the stupid tree and he hurt his leg. And then I had to help him for a while. And it all culminated with him wanting me to go get his horse from a camp that he assured me had no more than 4 bandits. There were 6. And after I successfully did that, I found that I was doing a lot better in general in terms of combat. I had some real armor. I felt like I could encounter and do more, and the world was a little more open. I was having more fun. I still don't think combat is fun for me. It still feels like a chore, and I don't like how often I lose progress. That feels like a chore. But I am also hesitant to say they need to fix all this, because I do see that decisions and things I do in the game are heavily based around the way all the mechanics kind of link together. So sometimes I look at a game and I go, well, this is broken and here's what they should do to fix it. I don't know that this is necessarily broken. It might all kind of work in service to its greater whole. And based on what people have said, I think it kind of does. But I'm just still in a place where I'm experiencing a lot of friction with the mechanics and the way the game works. And every time I get to the point where I'm like, I'm done with this game, I'm not going to play it anymore, I get to a moment like, and I put the link in Discord. Scott, will you play a little bit of the clip that I put in Discord with audio on?
100% I will. Let's see what we've got here. Hold on.
So the setup for this is then I get to a quest where I go drinking with a cumin. And
what about
he
you?
starts singing in his language, and I try to sing along.
Yeah.
And it goes like this.
All right, let me get it. Sorry, I got all my tabs messed up. All right, here we go.
Singing, shagging, singing, shag. Jij de kenne shake it, shake. I the key now, shake it, shake. King shall not green up. Carry King shall not green ups.
It becomes the most endearing, wonderful little experience for a while where just me and this drunken guy wander around the woods looking for more alcohol.
That's great.
Because we're not drunk enough, and talk to a dog. That's another thing that happens, and it's a real, like, it feels, it has to be a deliberate reference to friggin' The Simpsons and Homer eating the insanity pepper, because it's just a dog that's like, what's your quest? Like, he's just talking to you. But, you know,
I like how blurry it is. You can't see shit.
Oh, you're super drunk by this time, and you're looking for moonshine is basically what you're out looking for right now.
Yeah.
And then, I don't want to go too spoilery, but like, you get back to camp and you just start boasting about all your feats, even though you're bad at them. And through the whole thing, Henry talks about how he doesn't like swimming and he's not going to swim anymore. And he, like, I was like, oh, okay, so that's why they don't have a swimming mechanic, because Henry doesn't swim. And like, he's trying to convince his buddy, his drunk buddy, that he's better at him than everything. And he's like, you name one thing and I'll show I'm better at it than you. And he's like, okay, swimming. And the next thing you know, Henry's naked out in the middle of the lake going, how did I get here? I'm going to die. I'm going to die, freaking out because he's just wound up in the middle of the lake somehow drunk.
That's great.
And
love
it becomes, I go from like, I think I'm done with this game to, this game's wonderful and beautiful and I love it so much.
Yeah, it does sound like it's part of its draw is that it is all these things combined. It's all this frustration mixed with magical moments, mixed with insane things to do, and then forgetting that you didn't save the last 4 hours. And
just put the Cyberpunk save system with a few auto saves. Like, no big deal, guys.
yeah, I don't know why they have to be
like,
so picky with the saves.
You would still enjoy the game, probably more.
There's a mod. I guess there was a mod out like the weekend the game launched already, and it exists where you can go fix the save system and just save whenever you want.
Yeah, I think that would make a big difference for me because I don't mind punishing games. I do mind complete loss of time, and if it's a game where you say like, well, you got to invest some time into it, it's like, okay, well, losing time then becomes the biggest penalty.
Yeah. They have a hardcore mode. They could, they already have 2 game modes. Like, so you could just make casual. They already have a casual friendly mode where when you die, you get to reload your save. So why not just reload it?
Yeah. I tend to agree. That's another thing I really like about Tainted Grail is it's got not just a save anywhere you are system, but a quick save system. If you're playing on controller, so easy. Literally left bumper Y, so it's like and you've saved.
Oh, nice. Yeah, quick save.
Yeah, I love that because if I'm going into some weird cave I don't know shit about, why would I want to? I don't want to lose all that. And it's also really good at quick saves.
Why do you want to repeat the walk that took 30 minutes in the overworld?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Yeah. So it's not that I don't think these certainly have its place. Hardcore mode, like you said, is in there where you can starve, and they made a game where you die, you're done. Henry never comes back. So why not give me a third mode, which is let me save anywhere I want.
They should just make it the default mode. There's nothing interesting about a mode that's like, listen, you can reload your save, but you have to reload it from your bed. Like, I played a bit, and I just went horseback riding. Mm-hmm. I didn't even do anything. So I knew if I died, it'd be fine if it went back, right?
Yeah.
And then I came across a guy who was, like, telling me off, so I got off my horse, and I started telling him off, and he wanted to rob me, so I was like, let's fight. But I lost and died.
Yeah.
And then I'm back in bed, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, I played for like an hour. I'm like, I lost an hour of time, but I didn't do anything, so it's fine. But I was still irritated and logged off. I was still like, fuck this game. I was like, and I quit the game. Even though I did it expressly on purpose so that I would not feel anything, I still felt something having to reload my save. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's, anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes the consequences aren't even like, they're not obvious because, like, yeah, this game is simulation-y in a lot of ways, and maybe I should take things more seriously. But, like, I'll give you an example, and Bo talked a little bit about it, where there was a quest where they were like, hey, we want to go and investigate what happened with this cart. We're riding out in the morning. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, well, I don't have a horse. And they're like, okay, we'll go get a horse. So I was like, okay, I thought it was going to be a whole to-do. It ended up being very easy. I walked about 5 feet, saw my horse. The guy was like, well, yeah, but I paid for him. And I did a speech thing. He's like, all right, fine. All right, fine. It's your horse. And he gave it back to me. So I had a horse. But I was like, this is an open world game. And I immediately was like, oh, sweet, I have a horse. Let me try riding around on the horse. So I rode to a different town. I went on another adventure, got stuck doing something else that I got locked into. And all of a sudden the game's like, hey, you missed your deadline to meet up with them to go and investigate the cart they left without you.
Yeah.
And, like, that would be the perfect point to be like, oh, well, I'd like to reload a save, because I didn't realize that this game that kind of forced me into that, because they force you into that path. You ride into that town, you get a cutscene that leads to that quest. It auto triggers. So it's not like I engaged something where I was like, yes, absolutely, let's start it right now. It kind of chose to do it for me, and then it put a time limit on me. And I was like, well, I've done too much stuff, so I don't want to load a save. So I guess narratively, I guess I just missed it. Not because that's what I wanted Henry to do or that was my goal, but because, like, that's just what the game caused to happen.
Yeah.
I think there's some dissonance there because I think maybe I would have failed that quest too because I went horseback riding. I think there's a little bit of like, like in real life, if like you tell somebody, oh, hey, there's a problem, they're like, sweet, let's go solve it. And then you go play Heroes of the Storm for 3 days. They're probably going to do the thing without you, like in real life, right? Like, you know, you go to your spouse, you're like, we should do groceries. Let's do groceries this afternoon. And then you buzz off and then you come back the next day and be like, oh, let's go do groceries. And they're like, I already did it. Like, that's how life works. So maybe this game's trying to do that, where if it's like, you know, something urgent comes up and they ask you to participate and you're like, think it's a video game and be like, I'll initiate this quest on my time. And this world doesn't behave that way. Like, you are not the center of the universe.
Nope.
And I don't mind that exists. Like, I actually think that's a fine mechanic to put into your game. Like, in terms of like real world, if they say we're leaving in the morning, like, okay, you better be there in the morning. But I feel like the game could either do a better job of saying like, hey, this is a game where when people say that, they mean it. Because most video games are not like that.
Right.
Or, again, if you had a more open save file, you could have people go, oh, I didn't realize, let me load to the save where I said I would do this, and then go and do it. So it's one of those areas where I just keep bumping up against the areas this game is different. And I think the way it's different is to its strength most of the time.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the time, the decisions they've made with this game, I think, work to its benefit. Like, I love alchemy and blacksmithing and stuff because it's so involved and it's not just like I held A and crafted. I love the way the narrative kind of builds around what you did. Like, the people at that place, because I was waiting for them to come back from their stupid ride that they left without me on. And I was like wasting time. I was like, well, I'm hungry and I don't have any food. There doesn't seem to be anyone in this kitchen, so I just stole a bite of stew directly out of the pot. And a guy comes in and goes, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I was hungry. I mean, I'm eating the stew. And he's like, you can't do that. That's for us. And I was like, yeah, but it smelled good. And he's like, okay, I'm going to tell everybody that you're a food thief. But I'm not going to arrest you or anything. And so, like, I have a reputation around there is like, well, don't let him in the kitchen because he'll friggin' steal food for you. That sort of stuff is so cool and so good. And it makes for such, like, interesting discussions about the game. Like, that's where this game feels like 10 out of 10. So good. But every now and then, it just, there are a few things where I'm like, I almost quit the game permanently because of very minor details. And I wish some of those, I don't know how I would necessarily fix them, because I do think it is good that there are consequences. Like, you know, you do lose something if, you know, whatever stupid thing you try can just be auto-saved and fixed. Or if you fail a speech check, you know, and you can just reload and try the speech check again. You know, that changes the way the game is played. That changes the way you think about the things you do. So I don't necessarily think that there is a problem with what they've gone with, but I do. It does create a situation where multiple times I've been like, I'm done with this game, even though I'm not.
No, I think there's fixes where they don't lose it. Like, they could label things as time sensitive.
Yeah,
like they label your, you know, there's a whole bunch of notes. There's a whole codex section that contains the history of Europe.
Yeah.
Like, so it is still a video game at some level, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody in Europe's walking around. Nobody like Henry is walking around with a library, like Wikipedia or encyclopedia in their backpack, but you have one in the game.
Sure.
To help explain things to you. So
always concedes.
You can put a label like time sensitive. Like, if you leave this area, your quest will fail or something like that. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. And it's actually a thing I think this game's really great at is gamifying realism, and does it in ways that are fun and interesting. And I don't even think, I think that the potion thing, I would probably be praising that 20 years ago. I'd be so into that idea, because I'd be like, yeah, you got to be careful, man. Make sure you make enough of those. You always take them with you and have a few in the hand. You know what? You'd dive into that. That's because I had less respect for my schedule back then.
Yeah, it's true.
And nowadays I don't. I need games to respect my time more, and I'm not saying this game is out of its lane. It's doing exactly what it is meant to do. I'm just not sure it's perfect for me in that one way. You know?
When I have an hour to play and I lose an hour because I did something stupid, without thinking that I needed to save or didn't understand a rule of the world.
Which you could do by just logging out and logging in.
Time.
Yeah.
It's not as if the game's like hardcore. Like you can't save. You can only save when you sleep. It's like you can just quit the game and start, and that's a save.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I have enough of the save potions to like last for days. Like
but sometimes you forget to drink those. That's not intuitive as pressing F5. Like there's a reason why we do things the way we do things. Like it's not clever to be like, listen, I know we made gaming convenience and we have this sort of shorthand for what everyone knows. What if we just didn't do that? It's not great.
Yeah.
It's like making a game where, every game has X as the punch button. You know what I'm going to make the punch button? The select button. like, okay. Like
I do hate it with like shooters on consoles where they're like, well, Halo already does that. Let's change everything about the way the first person moves.
If they change it, it's for a good reason. Like Assassin's Creed always has a weird control schema, but it makes sense once you play it for a bit. The reason they do it that way,
Yeah.
But like they're just messing with 40 years of like save game technology in a way that's not helping.
I'm glad it isn't Elden Ring style where I got to go find some glowy feather sticking out of the ground or whatever the hell those were.
Well, there's no save game in that game though.
Well, there's that sit down and talk to the girl.
Yeah,
and
you sit down, but like your character's still saved. Like even if you die, it's just you lose your runes. The only thing you lose is your runes.
But that's a good example though of a game system that was designed very strictly a certain way, and they're not letting players deviate from it. Yeah. This is just their version of that, and that's fine.
Even that game brings you to your last fire or your last whatever they call it, the white weenie.
The white weenie. Yeah.
A white weenie. The light, the destiny thing, whatever. But like it's like they put them like next to the boss room. You're not like,
it's true. That's true.
I gotta go all the way from Linfell to the swamp. Now, which is how Deliverance feels, where you're like, oh, I'm in the blacksmith's hut again. Mm-hmm. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is so many of my favorite moments in this game so far have been times where I remembered to save, to either drink a save potion, or it just happened like whatever I did was right after waking up.
Yeah.
Like I had a save, so like clearing that bandit camp where he assured me there were 4 people and there were 6. Like the reason I point that out so specifically is I remembered to drink a potion before I went up there, and I successfully killed 4 people and was like, hell yes, I did it. I won a fight. And not only did I win a fight, I won 4 fights, and then strolled into the camp and 2 people jumped me and killed me. And I went, God damn it, the drunk didn't know how many people were in the camp. He lied to me.
Yeah.
By the way, that camp, how did you solve that? Because I went in the dead of night and snuck in and just stole the horse and ran like a madman on a horse in the darkness. It was scary as shit, because one thing this game does well is real nighttime darkness.
Oh,
yeah.
Literally
it's so
black.
dark.
And I didn't want to have a torch because they can see me. Like as soon as you light up a torch, the guys in the camp are like, "Oi!"
Yeah, they notice you immediately. There's no radius thing. It's light as light, and if you bring in light, you're screwed.
So when I'm sneaking in the dark, like I can see where they are because thankfully they're all using torches.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm not moving for like minutes because there's a rock in the way and I can't see it.
I know,
like,
yeah, that's the other thing. I kept
rock.
getting stuck on things because I was moving around in the dark, and I'm like, I can't move. I don't know why I can't move, because I can't light a torch to see why I can't move.
If I was truly smart, I would have cased the place in the daytime and then made my move at night, which is like, oh, interesting.
It is the thing the game lets you do. It lets you, do all that stuff if you want to. You can case it.
Yeah.
But
I didn't case it. I just did it that night because I was panicked. And,
I did it that night too.
So did you fight anybody, or did you?
I walked up to the camp. I was like, oh, there's a camp of bad guys. I should drink a save potion, and I did.
Yeah,
and so then the successful run, because it took 3 tries. The successful run, there's a guy walking, and I shot an arrow into him, and he went, oh, what the? And he ran back into the camp, and he's like, help! And then, like, another guy came down, like, what's going on? And then he saw me, and he's like, I'm going to get you. And he ran, and we had a little sword fight, and then he's like, I hit him twice in the head, and he was like, Jesus, I give up. So I told him to give me all of his stuff and leave.
yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine. So he goes running off into the dark.
That's amazing.
Then the guy with the arrow in him came back down and he's like, what's going on? And I shot him with a second arrow and he fell over. So then 2 more people came down to fight me and I got in a fight with them. And I hit one and he's like, stop, I quit, I give up. And then I was like trying to talk to him, but then his buddy showed up and started hitting me. So I just hit him and he died, even though he was trying to surrender. I was trying to take his stuff. And then I killed his buddy and I went into camp and I shot another guy with an arrow and then fought him. And then another guy came to see what all the fuss was about and I killed him too. So
do we know for sure if they're really bad?
No, you don't.
no, I got no
Because
idea.
that was the other. That's why I opted not to kill him, because like I snuck in, just stole the horse and ran. And when I went back, and they're thanking me, quest completion, and you can stay and sleep, in the shed anytime. Great.
Yeah.
And I think that one of them gave me a bow or something, so I've got a sweet bow and arrow from them. But they were like, he's like, the one thing he was like, it's a shame you didn't kill those bandits, and I'm like, really?
Oh yeah, I think you get a bigger. I think you get a bigger reward if you kill the bandit.
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
maybe,
You get
but
more
like,
money?
Yeah.
But based on what you're saying now, I'm like, this guy's a drunk who got caught in a tree being chased by wolves. He's supposed to be the master huntsman of the kingdom. This, by the way, he's like the king's like groundskeeper or something. Like he's the best man for the job. He's literally in a tree,
Yep.
scared of wolves, drunk off his ass, and when he jumps out, he breaks his foot from the tree.
I think you're basically we're once
Clearly,
again
this guy is an absolute moron.
we're
right?
once again
So, like,
explaining why the game's amazing. I mean, these are the
so
reasons.
maybe like those guys are bandits, but like everyone's who isn't like in the king's like retinue, or like who isn't nobility or somebody's serf, like has to find food. Like it's a tough life. Like maybe those people are not that bad. The way they're reacting, like, holy shit, I got shot with an arrow. Doesn't sound like a hardcore bandit to me. You know what I mean? And then you hit the guy and he's like, dude, what the hell, man?
I do like how sweary they all swear like they live now. It's like that.
Oh, my favorite was I got in a loop. It was like Groundhog Day because it was right after I woke up and I was trying to ride to a specific town because I don't remember what I wanted to do, but it was just up the road. And I rode by and there were some bandits robbing somebody on the road.
Yeah.
So the first time I got off my horse to help them and they ran over and killed me instantly. And I was like, oh shit. So then I reloaded and I rode up the road and I was like, I'm just going to ignore them this time. So I rode past them and they kind of ignored me and they were just focusing on robbing that guy. I was like, yeah, it just sort of sucks to be them. And all of a sudden this third guy that wasn't involved in the other thing just comes running at me going, ah, and he scared me off my horse and he punched me to death. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? So I reload and I go back. And so this time I'm going and there's a mercenary walking in front of me. And I was like, this mercenary is going to stumble upon these bandits robbing this person and he'll help. And he did. And they killed the mercenary immediately. And then they both killed me too. And I was like, God damn it. So
It's so hard to be good at sword fighting in this game.
So I reload again. I go riding up the road. And for some reason, the bandits robbing the merchant aren't there anymore. This is the only time I've reloaded and they aren't there. And instead, it's just these two dipshits standing on the side of the road. And I was like, well, who are these guys? And all of a sudden, my horse rears up and I fall off the horse. And the guys are like, come here, you. And they don't want to stab me. They just want to punch me. They just want to beat me up for some reason. And I don't know what I did. And so, like, they're just punching me and I get in a fight and I'm like fighting one of them, but I'm trying to fight two at the same time. So they're kind of winning. And all of a sudden this merchant comes walking by and sees them fighting. And he just comes up and he just cold clocks one of the guys that's punching me. And the guy goes, oh, fuck. And he just falls down unconscious from this merchant. And then the merchant and I beat
No,
up
you got to
his
be a
bodyguard.
badass to be a merchant, man.
Yeah,
it's
the
not
merchant
easy.
was having none of it. So we both knocked him out, and the merchant's like, all right. And he just keeps walking on. So I stole all their clothes. I left them alive, but I took all their clothes and money.
That was
And
the
I
right
figured,
thing to do.
They could have a naked run back.
I wonder if there's a nemesis system, or if you leave them alive, they come back to get you later.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know. It'd be so cool.
could be.
But
That game would
yeah,
benefit from that. That'd be really neat.
The amount of time we've spent talking about things we've run into and things that have happened in this game, like, this is the strength of the game.
Yeah.
It is immensely entertaining. It is immensely sandboxy. It's very well written. And all of that makes up for the things that are, like, you know, kind of pain points I'm having with the game. Like, it's so fun and entertaining at the same time.
Yeah. Do you think you'll? I mean, you probably keep having this relationship with it until you hit some stride somewhere where you're like, now I'm invincible. I got the best sword ever. No one messes with me or whatever. But
We'll see. At this rate, it's probably going to be a few months.
it might be.
It's going to be a long time. I did hear a cool story about a water goblin, and it led me to a bunch of money and stuff. So that's
There's a curse.
fun.
I got told that story, and the guy who told it to me said, both people with the axe got killed. Like, they all
The
died.
end of
Everyone
that
died.
story is so funny because, like, he tells you this story about this cursed axe that ruined people's lives, and at the end, Henry goes, "Maybe I can find that axe." And he's like, "I just told you it's cursed." And Henry's like, "I'm gonna go looking for it."
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. The game's cool. The game's very cool.
It's so good.
If I hadn't gotten so wrapped up in Tainted Grail, that was the one I was going to spend more time in this week. But
I can understand it because, again, Deliverance, no goblins, no demons, no.
lots of rumors of that shit. Lots of like going,
Yeah.
"Hey, did you hear there's a demon up there?" And you go up there and find it's an old lady with a stick or whatever. It's not. It's not quite the same. So depending on what you're in the mood for, man, this year's got you covered.
It's not grimdark at all.
No.
It's just European.
It's more grim dork is what it is in a lot of ways.
Yes. Yeah.
Henry is such a lovable character, though. Like, he is such an idiot.
Oh, he's
but,
great.
like, again, in the most lovable kind of way. Like, he's just... Every time he tries to spell his name and fails while he's having a dialogue, it's just funny to me. Like,
Yeah, he's freaking great.
H-E-N, other letters. So stupid.
It is stupid, but I love that. That's great. Anyway,
So, yeah,
what
I
else you get
played
up to?
that. I also beat a game this week.
John's beaten all the games this year. That's the deal.
Oh my.
I finished a game. This will sound like a game I've played before, but it is, in fact, a sequel. I played Duck Detective Ghost of Glamping.
Glamping. Yep.
It is the sequel to Duck Detective and the Secret Salami, or whatever it was called.
I
Something
played
about
I played and beat the first one based on your recommendation, and I loved that game. It was awesome. So I'm so excited to hear that this one's living up to the hype of the sequel.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, this is another one of those. And I would say that this is an interesting iteration because in a lot of ways it is more of that game. If you liked the first Duck Detective, you will probably like this Duck Detective. I think from a gameplay loop perspective, they've kind of tightened it in a way where I felt like I was doing less aimless wandering and kind of had a better idea of where to go and what to do. But in terms of the overall story and mystery, I think this one was lacking a little bit. I didn't have quite so much fun. I do think they make one key mistake, and maybe I'm just a bitter, cynical, bad person. But they bring one character back from the first game besides the Duck Detective. And it's the most annoying character in the world.
Oh, shit.
And he's with you through the entire thing. And it really has that feeling of a bunch of people really like a character that I don't like, and I could do without him being there. Now, they don't overdo it. Like, your interactions with him are mostly optional, and the Duck Detective hates him too, so at least you have a character that's as equally annoyed by his presence as I was. But, it is the same gameplay. It is talking to people to get keywords, to put little deductions together to solve...
deductions.
Yeah,
Get
to
it?
solve a mystery. The Duck Detective still has a terrible bread addiction that he's fighting. He's still trying to get over his ex-wife. All that is still true. It does set up for a third sequel that I'm actually more interested in because I think it could go into a more interesting direction potentially with how this one ended. But yeah, I mean, if you all heard my recommendation for Duck Detective and you tried it and you liked it, you'll like this one too. If it's not for you, this one does nothing different to convince you otherwise. So,
Yeah, I love the first one, so I think I'm all in on this. It's only $8.99 right now. It's like cheap.
Yeah, it's just like it is video game junk food. It's like I just need a palate cleanser from all these games I've been playing. I'm gonna just sit down. It's about 3 hours long. It's pretty short.
Yeah.
I'm going to just sit down, have a little mystery. It's not a crazy mystery. It's not the most insanely interesting story. But it was fun. I had a good time.
Good.
With it.
That's all you can ask for these days.
Yeah.
Bo, looks like you got into
All right.
Monster Train 2. We were right, weren't we?
Yep.
It's great, isn't it?
It is great. Yes, it's a Monster Train 2. It is an upgrade on Monster Train 1. The client smoother. There's more to it.
Yeah.
And
I just found out yesterday you can unlock all the previous factions from 1 in 2 if you.
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking for it. I'm like, this must be a secret because there's nowhere like in the menus I can find that stuff.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know how you. It doesn't. There's nowhere in there that says make sure you do 15 of these to unlock the whatever. It's just something you do as
but
you
it
go.
has a lot of stuff behind secret doors that you have to, complete in order to open things up, as a roguelike usually does. So I did 2 runs. And it's weird because the one thing I will say about the game is it does have some tutorialization, but it's been a while since I played the first one, and it is a little different than a lot of card player games in that, like, there's always new waves to hit, right? And the words they use, like what pyrogel is and valor and how those all operate, it just took me a little bit, but once it clicked. It's not terrible. It's just
just some new ideas. Yeah.
I think like the first one, I think if you're not great at these card games, you may want to start with the first one just because I think they throw you in the deep end pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's not all that complicated. I was trucking before you know it. I had a good time. It was a good time. It was good.
So much fun. I got another email this week saying, Scott, you say you hate tower defense and you're playing the ultimate 3-level tower of defense.
Tower defense is a train defense.
Yeah, and I would say to that, it's not that I hate.
Yeah.
It's not that I hate tower defense. It's that I hate the way most tower defense games play. This doesn't play at all like one of those.
No, this is not tower defense because nothing's automated. You literally
I mean, the fight resolve is automated, but it's not the same.
You can think of it as a tower, but it's basically Slay the Spire with 3 lanes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
So yeah, and like the enemies just move up the lanes, so you have an opportunity to fight them. It's not tower defense.
Yeah.
I would disagree with that as well. But like, I understand why you'd make the comparison. The enemies follow a route to the thing that can kill you, and you build stuff while it's on the way there.
Yeah.
So,
it's a great time, super fun.
But it's also still just a card game too, where you're not really turtling up and building and upgrading those units in that way.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it works. Sometimes you can hate a genre, but there's a really good one of a genre, like extraction shooters we talked about today.
Yeah.
You guys hate extraction shooters, but I bet you there's one. I bet you guys will like Arc Raiders.
I keep hearing Arc Raiders is going to change everyone's life.
There's going to be one that's going to like, okay, I can play this genre. So
yeah.
Or another extraction shooter, Elden Ring Night Rain, which is coming out in like 30 minutes or 15 minutes.
Oh, is that today?
Yep.
Yeah.
15 minutes. It's literally...
I thought that was... I don't know why.
Less than an hour. I'm pretty sure it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. I pre-ordered it, and it's on.
I'm excited to hear what you say about it. I know it's very different than even what they had shown before. I feel like they never gave us the full skinny on what this expansion is, but it seems very different.
Yeah, it's like battle royale with a closing map, and you and 3 players got to cooperatively speed level through, and then kill the boss in like 45-minute matches.
Do you extract anything at the end?
I think so. I don't know. That's why
it's an extraction shooter.
Yeah. But man, the trailers look so good. Like, there's Elden Ring is a good game, y'all. Like, it's good. And
yeah.
Anyways, there's always one. So even if you were to say yes, Monster Train is a tower defense, well, okay, fine. Like, it's good. I like it then. And I won't play any of the other ones. Whatever. So yeah.
Right.
Good game. I enjoyed it. Definitely a big recommend if you like those card games. Also, I didn't put it on here too, but I picked up Slay the Spire on mobile just because I was in a place where I only had my phone.
Oh, it's great on there. It's good.
And I was like, I can't wait for 2, but I just wanted a taste of the Spire,
No, it's
And,
good. It's really good on there. Like the phone, it turns out these card games are like really well suited to dragging your finger around. They're great.
and they're easy to shut down if you need, like, I had to go to the bathroom at one point, so I'm like, okay, you can pause the game and
I'm shocked by
not
that.
lose progress.
You had to poo in the middle of your game. I can't. I mean, you of all people.
Well, I mean, I beated the boss. I beated the boss.
I beated him.
I did a full run. It's not like I'm.
Yeah.
I know how to play Slay the Spire, so I beat the boss in my first run. So it took takes a couple hours to.
Yeah, it's a beast. That thing. It's a great game.
Get through around if you make it all the way to the end.
2's out this year, right? Like that's coming soon too.
I have to think it's soon, but you never know. But I think so. I know they switched off of Unity mid development because of that whole kerfuffle, which I don't know where it is, but yes,
they're using Godot now. I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
They might have switched back too with the thing. I don't know. It says 2025 on the Steam page.
Godot's having a moment. They partnered with Apple for Vision Pro stuff here recently, and when I say they, it's still open source. It's not like some company running Godot, but they're working directly with Apple on stuff. I just feel like Godot's having a moment, and it's now on Unity and even Unreal to sort of keep pace with these young upstarts for engines and stuff.
Well, that's the great thing about open source. It enables a lot of stuff, so it's great. So Monster Train was like the big new game I played this week. I enjoyed it. It's great. Not much more to say than Scott, except the artwork's great and the gameplay's great.
I think the artwork in particular and the animation of the cards, the characters, kind of the overall vibe of it, definitely an uptick. It's not that the old game was ugly. Some people thought it was, but it was a little stiff, admittedly. A lot of static art and that sort of thing. This is a way more animated sequel than the first one.
Way more animated and like hyper too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the old one was like that too, but just
it's just more.
It's when it's the boss combat and they don't stop until somebody loses. It's just like boom, boom.
Oh, it's
boom,
insane.
Boom,
especially if you speed it up. It's like you put it on 4x speed and it's just and they're just fighting. Oh, it's so good.
It's like pinball or something. Like you're just watching the ball go back and forth.
It's addicting as hell.
So that was my main new game this week. My other gaming adventures involved VR. Specifically, Luke Ross, who does the VR, a big VR modder, modded Doom Eternal and Doom Dark Ages. So I spent some time trying to get the Dark Ages to work, and I couldn't. I was unfortunately one of the unlucky ones that got black screen on the Dark Ages. However, it's being worked on. There was an update. I still get in black screen, but it's possible I didn't wait long enough because let me tell you, I tried a bunch of other games in VR as well as a result of this too. But I did get Doom Eternal working, and it's pretty all right in VR. I've played the game a lot, but like it's definitely psychotic to play the game in VR.
When you say it's pretty all right, obviously it's not made for VR. So what concessions are you making?
So like the problem is like I have a 3060, which is a decent card. It plays everything at great graphics on 1080p. I don't do 4K or 1440. So like handles everything great, but like when you start doing VR stuff, it's got to draw the screen twice.
Yeah.
So your demand on games is just a lot more, right? And the 30, I'm pretty sure it's down to the 3060's capabilities. The 3060 is just a little, not as good as it could be, and I get sort of ghosting and stuttering, and it's like, it's pretty all right, but it's like not buttery smooth. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't afford $1,000 right now. I'll get like a 5090 or something. But,
right.
I really need to figure out getting a high-end card so I can do the VR.
I wonder if the 5070 will be a good answer, because those things are what, $300 or $399 at launch?
Yeah, maybe. If do some benchmark tests. It's hard to know because they're not designed with these capabilities in mind, so results can...
Yeah,
you kind of have to go with like what people who also use the mod are saying when they say, this is my performance and my card. It's not like I can go to Linus Tech Tips and they'll tell you. So, but it's still a fun experience. It's just Doom Eternal I've played so much. It wasn't like the most mind blowing, but it definitely is intense when like it feels like these monsters are in your face, and when you chainsaw and cut them apart, it's just a whole new level of like, oh my god, it's so gross.
Is your head? Are you getting head tracking to where you're seeing?
Yeah. So
you
the
know.
way Luke Ross does his mods is your mouse or like his controller's better. Your free look on the right stick doesn't go up and down; it only goes right and left.
Okay.
And you have to use your head for up and down, basically.
Okay.
Your head can also turn and look, but it's just like, otherwise it would be complete head aiming, which, like, my back's been sore this week. My Costa's been acting up. I'm like, when I was playing Doom Eternal and there's a guy up in the balcony, I'm like, oh, I have to look up to aim at him. It's kind of annoying because my back's going like, we're going to make you hurt. Like, I don't want to move my head like that.
Yeah.
To like shoot. I want to move my head to look around, but like to, in a twitchy shooter, it's not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
When you're in your 40s.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It makes a difference. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, it definitely gives space, but like I have to turn the graphics down, even on Eternal, I have to turn stuff to like medium or low res. It's not the bee's knees with a 3060, but I still had a good time and I still want to play more in 3D. It's fun. It's
Nice.
good. But I got sad because it was just I wanted to play Dark Ages mostly, but I'm like, oh, let me try a bunch of other games that he's got on his list. Like he's got Death Stranding on there, like a whole bunch of games now work on this list. And one of them was Watch Dogs, and I'm like, I already have that installed, so I play Watch Dogs in VR. And it's actually a really cool experience, except the UI is bad because you know how you're hovering all the time to find out about them?
Yeah.
It's like stuck in my periphery vision, and all the adjustments I couldn't change the position of where it was. So that UI, it's hard to read. Like I'm like trying to look in the corner and be like, "What's this guy's deal?" It's like
It's like sitting in the front row of the movie theater. You're like,
yeah. But it actually like, yeah. But it actually like the gameplay otherwise is like pretty cool. It's like I'm just like, oh man, I'm like in Chicago right now. It's and even playing third person, it's not a first person game. I'm like, I can get used to this playing in 3D as a third person. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other games I tried with VR is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This was the horse I was talking about. There's a VR injection mod for this, and I gotta say, fighting even worse in VR. It doesn't help. I felt like there was lag because even my dodging was like lagging out and I kept getting hit. But when you club them, the one guy I fought, by the way, because we were like, talking shit to each other, I pulled out my mace. I have a mace and a shield. And the guy was like, nice mace, dude, because he's going to take it from me. And I'm like, he commented on the weapon I pulled out. That's awesome. So if I would have pulled out a sword, he might have said, nice sword. Like, I'm just like, oh man, this game's cool. But mostly I did horse riding, which is a hell of a lot of fun. The only problem with this game, for me, as with the other ones, is the graphic fidelity I had to keep low. So it wasn't the prettiest experience in VR, unfortunately. But that's, again, on my graphics capabilities, and I don't think on the mod. So
right, and mods are, obviously, they're not even optimized really for the experience, so you're always going to have that gap, right?
Yeah, it's processing power. Like I went through this with Skyrim, because Skyrim is one I did on an even worse graphics card and went to the 3060, and it was so much better. But like I've done a lot of research on like the performance of graphics cards. Like they're like 3090 is like what you want to do. Like it's funny. Like the graphics cards, they're worlds apart in difference for VR, whereas they're not worlds apart. Like if you bought a 3060, you can game. You're perfectly happy gaming, and it's just like you can see the clouds better or something, or you get ultra performant DLSS and ray tracing, where you get like low ray tracing, let's say on your 3060, and it's like you're not missing much. You're missing something, but you're maybe happy to have saved $1,000. And like you're not missing it. But like in VR, it's like, oh man, I'm on I have poverty VR. I'm on welfare VR. This sucks.
Oh man.
So yeah, I kind of the rubber meets the road on that. So I gotta figure out a better graphics card situation.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, but anyways, KCD2 is fun in VR, and then I went back, of course, and played some Cyberpunk, and because I haven't played any Phantom Liberty in VR, so I did the whole Kurt Hansen party, where you meet Lizzie Wizzy and the two twins and play craps with them and stuff. That whole thing was, that game was made for VR, by the way. Compared to the other games, I logged into that game and it was beautiful. And I'm like, they've been tweaking the graphics on this game and the DLSS shit so much that like
so optimized. Yeah.
It was still even on low settings, but I'm like, this game is crisp as hell. Like, it's so good, and with the way the NPCs talk to you, like seeing Somi's gear in the back, because you do meet her in real life in that scene. It's all hardware and it's all in 3D, so it looks like hardware, and I was just like, whoa! Like, it actually, out of any of the visuals that I would see, seeing her like missing, like they're showing it right there. That looks so wild in VR, like, because you see that there's gaps like where her skeletal structure is and stuff. It's really cool.
This game. All we have to do is talk about it, and I want to go play it.
No, this game is like
so
goated.
good.
Like,
so
and again,
good.
playing it in VR is like, it'd be better on a 3090, but it's pretty dead on the 3060 for me.
Seems all right.
And like, it's like vibes. Like, I played Watch Dogs, right? It seems like Chicago. It's a city. I'm not like, whoa, Chicago. I'm just like, all right, cool, it's a city. But like, Night City's like, oh my God. Like, you just look up and up and up and up and see the billboards and stuff, and it's just overwhelming and visually just so detailed. Such a great game.
I'm going back.
Anyway, so VR modding, good. I need to get a better video card if I want to really appreciate them. And I'm going to try to get Dark Ages running, hopefully one of these days.
Nice.
In VR.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. What else did I do? Valheim.
Oh yeah, they got the new the Mistlands business, right?
I haven't really been talking about Valheim because I'm just like, I play a lot of it, but like, whatever. There's nothing to talk about. Well, I finally got new content.
Oh.
Finally in the Mistlands, a new biome. So I don't know if anyone cares or not, but the new biome is frustrating, hard, and very cool.
And weirdly beautiful from a distance. This game always blows my mind until you get close, and then you go, where's the PS2 or PS1 that's running this? It's so weird.
So in the Mistlands, you can't see anything because there's mist everywhere. And in order to see, you have a wisp that you make.
They really reached on the naming of Mistlands with all the mists everywhere. Yeah.
But unfortunately, it doesn't reveal very far. So you can like walk into like these scarabs that are around, and there's ticks, and there's these giant flying brain monsters that barf on you.
Yeah.
So it's still very tense because you're like, I don't know what I'm walking into. Mm-hmm. And when you travel out into the Mistland to build these wisp torches so that you kind of plot a path so you can find your way out. Because you can't, even though it's revealed some of the area, it's still mist everywhere. And you can just get completely lost in the Mistlands if you don't have like your bearings.
Yeah.
And so, we've done that. Although, like, I'm playing with Mike and Crofton, and they don't do anything smart like that, where they read the torches. So they'll run in and be lost and have no idea where they're going. Meanwhile, I'm setting up my torch trail.
Sure.
And but it is what it is. We still had a good time. We went in there, and like, there's these Dwegar guys who are friendly, but you need to kill them so you can steal their stuff. But they're like friendly. And everyone's having a morality issue with that.
That sounds like just a crime. That
Yeah.
You're like, you have to, but it just sort of sounds like you're committing
Yeah,
crimes.
they seem like, oh, hey, we're your neighbors. How's it going? Good.
That's how
I'm going to
it
break into
feels.
your house tonight and take all your shit. Yeah.
That's how it feels. And that's a sad part about the game. But ultimately, we had to do it. We have to get a sap extractor. So the big thing is you can extract sap.
Yeah.
In this area and use that to make food and stuff.
Gross.
And the Mistlands are fun. It's real exciting to be in a new biome because I've played the game. I have like 200 to 300 hours in the game, and finally I'm seeing new content.
Have you fought any big boss types in Mistlands?
Well, I mean, we fought the Plains boss, like Yogg's Luth or something like that. He was pretty cool, pretty fun to fight.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, like, it's funny, I don't remember what he looks like. I know there's a dragon. We fought Motor. But what does the Plains guy look like?
I don't know. Was it covered in mist?
No, he's part of the Plains where the Duskitos rule. But It's just really the big brain. Like there's these big brains that fly around called Jall.
Like Futurama brains.
Y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. What's up, y'all?
DJALL, like y'alls.
Okay.
Y'all hear
Y'all.
about us brains?
Do you hear? Did y'all hear the joke about the big brain on Brad?
Exactly.
Y'all want to go hang out in the Mistlands?
Yeah.
Because y'all have a good time.
When you kill them, you get to pick up their bile bag.
Ew. Their bile bag.
Lucky me. What a bully day this is
Yeah.
for me.
You
Get a
need them
bile bag.
to make things. I don't know what yet. We're still sorting out like the food and the gear because you got to get all the materials and figure out the components. We're trying to make a black forge.
Okay.
And we need 5 black cores, and we only have 4 black cores.
I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter what you tell me we're having for dinner on a Saturday night. If it involves a bile bag, I'm not eating it.
No, you don't. I don't think you eat bile bag. I think you use it for grenades.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, that would work. You don't even need to put it into somebody throws a bile bag at me, I'm not coming back.
No, it can be just a small wet one just laying there. I'd run for miles to get away from
I
it.
think you got to mix it with some other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Don't overdo a raw bile bag. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff, and it's fun. There's these. There's another thing. There's these dead giant corpses.
Like you do.
And and so their bones are like black marble. So you got to like mine the black marble. But they have brains, and you mine their brain. You use your pickaxe to mine out what's called soft tissue. And I don't know what the soft tissue is for yet. But it's their brain. It's pretty, and it makes a wet sound like.
Well, combine it with a bile bag, and you got yourself a winner there. Yeah.
You went to a new land, started killing a bunch of the friendly local inhabitants, then started mining giants for their brains.
Yes.
For no reason. No known reason.
We need that stuff. Well, Odin's like been watching us, right? Like if you're walking around at night, sometimes you'll see like a weird guy in a hood just staring at you.
That's Odin?
That's Odin. Once you notice him, he disappears. I saw him the other day. It's very rare to spot him, but Odin, you're there on Odin's.
We always are. He's such a prick.
Yeah.
Odin.
Yeah, Odin's like that.
So,
I met him once.
so Odin wants us to do something. I guess tame Valheim. It's not Earth. It's a magical Viking realm called Valheim. So
Right.
So I assume we're doing it right. We're Viking right.
I think you're doing a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Played a bunch more heroes as well.
Yeah.
How'd heroes
played
go?
a lot of heroes.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've been playing a lot of Samuro, kicking ass and taking names with Samuro. It's fun. And it's a good time.
I love it. Look at you.
Yeah. I played a lot of heroes this year, actually. It's a heroes resurgence for me. I just find that the game is fun and well made.
Yeah.
And
always has been.
I play other games and I'm like, I don't know, I just got to play some heroes. I just want to have some fun.
Comfort game. Nothing wrong with that.
It's my comfort game.
And a good game
And
to match. So there you go.
And I already said the last one. I haven't played it yet, but Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain launches, I think. Oh, I think it's out.
Is
now.
it out? Better start
5 minutes
download and get your fiber going there. You can get it.
I'm although it's grayed out, so I can't play it yet.
Oh.
I'm preloaded.
Okay. Nice.
But it's not unlocked, I guess, just a second. So
I think you have to
any minute now.
You might have to relaunch Steam. I did that with something.
Could be.
Something made me do that recently. I don't remember what it was. All right. Well, this is great. Now, here's also a fun thing. Our very first and only call we have today is about BEAU, and it's about another use of the StarCraft 2 engine, not just Heroes of the Storm. So I'll explain that in a second.
That's a good question.
This is a call about the modding scene in StarCraft 2, and it comes to us from someone who did not leave their name. Here you go.
Hello, semi-regular listener.
Whoops, sorry.
Hello, semi-regular listener here with a message for BEAU. Week after week, I hear you talking about casually playing some StarCraft 2 co-op commanders. I'm a big fan of that mode myself, and I have a curious question. How much do you know about the modding scene for StarCraft 2? There is a YouTuber by Giant Grant Games who has a whole server for custom campaigns where they made a custom campaign manager for easily installing and playing through the whole campaign as one of those co-op commanders or whatever other people could come up with. Just curious if you know and would be willing to try it. I have had a blast with it and it's all completely free. Real easy to do too. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Take care and bye.
Okay, so to me that sounds against terms of service because isn't StarCraft 2 tied directly to Blizzard servers, and then they run all the mods. And
there's the mod internal to the client, but
I don't know.
Here's the problem, Scott. That sounds freaking awesome, is what that sounds like.
It does sound great, which is why I doubt
somebody who every time I play co-op Commanders, I sit there and I go, I'm having a wonderful time, but I wish I could play as Artanis all the time in other places. This sounds like it solves a lot of problems for me.
Yeah, it does. You could be Artanis from the get and never do anything else. Artanis all day.
The Artanis playstyle in co-op Commanders is the most fun I've ever had in StarCraft. It is so good.
Damn. Well, Bo, you should try this.
Mod, CXL.
Yeah, you should try it. See, we'll talk about it on the show. I'd never even heard of this. I assumed all that stuff was locked down by Blizzard and you couldn't do anything outside their client or outside their launcher.
Yeah, no, I'll look into it. I'm guilty of when I log into StarCraft, I just play. I either practice my build orders and versus AI, even though I never actually play PvP, but I still kind of like to.
Yeah.
I still like to pretend, and then I'll play co-op just because it's like press play, instantly co-op. I got to think about it too much. So I'm guilty of not checking out the games in the mod section or anything, and I really should, or just other stuff. I feel like StarCraft for me is always I'm going to log in for a couple hours before I get to my main. It's an appetizer in a lot of ways sometimes. Did
you ever go back and look at that Heroes remake they made in there? The
Resurgence, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious how that went along because it looked identical, and the more I thought about it, I was like, well, yeah, because StarCraft 2 engine is the same engine, so why wouldn't it be like it? But then also that game exists, so their point is what, to add new characters or something over time, or I don't remember what the deal is.
The Storm, yeah.
I don't remember.
I guess their last update was 9 months ago when they added changes in Delta. I don't know. I never really.
I kind of meant to, but never
checked it out. I mean, I get a bit lazy about that stuff because it's not like they're my main games, right? So it's just I'm going to log in, I'm going to play the default options and have a bit of fun. And
it's like VR. If you're already in there, you might dink around, but
I get to dink it around with mods with VR because that holds my interest a little more than
chat room.
This was cool too.
Chat room wants you to stream Night Vale after the show tonight. By the way,
I may. That's. I think so. I think I'll do that.
Well, on top of that phone call, on top of that phone call, I would just say that stuff is awesome. We love hearing about these things. Sometimes we have no idea, so please keep these coming. 10hams.com is where you can go and send us either a text or a voicemail, or a text with AI voicemail if you prefer. I don't control that. You do. So don't get mad at me when they're AI. It's you choosing at home. But anyway, we'd love it over there, and you guys will too. 10hams.com is where you'll go to do that. A quick shout out to Garrig, who had a birthday this week. So happy birthday, Garrig.
Happy birthday, Garrig.
Yep, good job. And not that you had to do much. You just turned the new age. So, I know how that works. That's how ages work. How does time work? You made it. Before we go, a reminder that contest is up. Here's another quick look at it for those in the chat. The Doom the Dark Ages giveaway from Doghouse Systems and us, mostly Doghouse Systems, because they are flipping the bill on this one. They want one of you to win a PC copy of that game. So much so that we set up a form for you to go to and easily sign up for it. A bunch of people have already done it. Please do it because you've got until next episode before we announce the random winner of this copy of Doom the Dark Ages. And that web address is frogpants.com/core contest. One word on the core contest. frogpants.com/core contest. And get Doom TDA right now. Well, not right now. In a week, if you are the winner.
You can get right now, but you can pay for it.
You're going to pay for it, for sure. Okay, now we can talk about some patrons. We got some new ones. Rick Dangerous. A Danger of 5. It's like
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like Dead Mouse, but with Dangerous. Anyway.
Nice.
That's cool. I like it. He joined. So did Daniel Schneider. They're getting no commercials. They're getting pre-show content, host specials. They're getting all kinds of cool stuff. Art in the mail from me. I'm about to do a new one for the next month. Always fun stuff happening over there. If you guys can check it out, do it. Go check it out. Patreon.com/core show. See if I can say check it out more often. I said it like 8 times in a row there.
Hey, check it out.
Hey, check it out. That is going to do it for today's show. Keep the feedback coming. We love it. Frogpants.com/core for all our stuff. And you can watch us live on Thursdays starting at 1 p.m. Mountain Time at frogpants.tv. we now tell Grandma to pick up her microphone and tell us what games we played today.
I see you over there playing a video game, not paying attention to the show and thinking, man, something they talked about sounds good, but I don't remember what it was called. So here it is. Here's what they talked about. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, The Precinct, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Duck Detective, Ghost of Glamping, Monster Train 2, Doom the Dark Ages, Doom Eternal, Watch Dogs, Cyberpunk 2077, Valheim, and Heroes of the Storm.
Wow, there's a lot. A lot of good games, a lot of time spent. That's right.
Yeah.
So come back next week for more. Go play some video games yourselves.
How many, John, before we let you go, how many penises should people be looking for?
Oh, yeah.
There's one hidden penis.
One hidden penis in this episode. So if you listen at home and you find that penis, the reward is that you found that penis.
Well, and you go to the
itself.
YouTube, navigate to the YouTube comments on the video show, and
Yeah, let us know, and then we'll give you nothing. So
tag it, and we'll let you know if that
the
was
reward
the
is you'll have
penis
something to comment about.
yeah, and you can brag to your friends about finding the small penis in the bigger show. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thanks everybody for listening. I hope that this week is full of great gameplay for all of you, and that weird news drops, so we'll have it to talk about next week. And in the meantime, we're going to think about you each and every minute of that time. Until then, have a great week. We'll see you next time.
In the menu of life, make your main entree frogpants.com. It's delicious. Delicious.